竞技体育全新的意义。从人工智能获得启发，智力运动还有很多提升的空间和可能性。中国正在成为世界智力运动的能量之源，促进智力运动发展，增进世界文化交流。5月，世界棋牌大师巅峰对决汇聚中国衡水。我是衡水人，我在我的家乡邀您关注国际智力运动联盟世界大师锦标赛。
Hello and welcome, and it's championship day here at the IMSA World Masters Blitz. As our players go into the final day, well, they have a lot of money to play for, don't they, Gata?
Yes.
Yes, sir. So the prize fund is incredibly generous. It's a top prize of €12,000 for the women and €18,000 for the men. And just recapping on yesterday's round. So after 12 games of Blitz, in the lead in the men's section, we have Bu Jiangji of China, who's leading with 8 points, and he's nursing a half-point lead over Richard Rapport. And there are 4 players chasing on 7 points. So still everything to play for. In the women's section, Humpy Honoru put on an impressive performance with 8.5 points, and she's being chased by Tang Zhongyi of China with 8 points. So 10 Blitz games left. What will happen? I don't know. It's just too close to call. There will be a lot of thrills, a lot of spills. And for those viewers, I'm International Master Jovanka Houska, and as always, it has been the utmost of privileges to be here in the studio with Grandmaster Gata Kamsky.
Thank you. Well, today we'll be focusing on the top two boards mostly because yesterday we tried to cover a little bit more games, but it didn't quite work. So today's last round, and again, the top boards will be absolutely critical to determine the final standings, and they haven't started yet. They just
No, we're just waiting for the action to begin.
Yeah.
And we'll be focusing on this round. We'll be focusing on Vidit and Bu Zhangji, tournament leader,
Right.
as well as having a look at Richard Rapport against Fedoseev. And in the women's section, we will be focusing on Valentina Gunina,
Right.
Blitz specialist, versus Hampi Koneru, who had a
And
fantastic performance
We
yesterday.
see the officials are ready to make the ceremonial move at the top man's board.
Yep.
And as soon as they do, the tournament will start. And of course, Vidit has all night to prepare, I think, yeah?
Yes.
We have the pairings the night before.
Yes.
And he's playing white color against blue, so it will be extremely important game.
Actually, we left yesterday on a little bit of a cliffhanger with that game between
Gawain
Gawain
versus-
Jones and
Yes, I was thinking whether to cover it, but then I wanted to avoid, that the
but
arbiters.
one thing, no. One thing that actually became apparent was that
Yeah.
after 75 moves of no progress,
Yeah.
the arbiter should step in and declare the game drawn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is probably a new rule because I wasn't aware of it.
I wasn't aware of that either. Okay, so the players have made, the officials have made the ceremonious moves. Okay, let's have a game. Let's have a bet. They take it back.
Of course, before C5. That would have been perfect opening. I mean, the officials know their first moves, yeah?
They do know their first moves, though one did try B5.
Yeah, B5.
Okay, so here we have
Oh, but
E4.
we also have ceremonial first move on the top women's board.
Yeah, and
And
E5.
now it's E5.
E5, yes.
This guy, he knows what he's doing.
He knows Hampi Koneru. Petrov
She's
specialist.
going for Petrov or what? Yeah. We will see another Berlin. That's another one. Okay.
And they take
and
it
they
back.
take it back
And they
as
take
well.
it back.
And smiles. Yeah. Men don't smile that much, yeah? It's
No.
interesting. Women smile a lot, but then they try to kill each other.
They
So
have,
hard.
as you can see by Hampi Koneru's impressive 8.5 points, that's
Yeah.
half a point ahead of the leader in the men's section. And Tan Zhongyi is on 8.
And
they're
we
off.
are off.
And
Is it really E4, C5 on the first
I-
board? Okay. Then we have
I'm not
Reti on
getting
the
any
second board
updates.
on Fedoseev.
okay, let's go down to the second board. Richard Rapport against Fedoseev, and that is a Reti.
Yeah. Yeah. We have first board updated. Cambridge Springs
Cambridge
relation.
Springs.
No, is it? Yeah, it is. Oh, it's very solid. Very interesting choice by Bull.
Okay,
He probably expected some prep by
Wait
his
1
opponent,
second.
but after rook c1, g3, bishop g2, we're all in the standard position. White is slightly better, black has a pair of bishops, but in a slightly cramped position. And this is going to be extremely solid game. Richard Rapport is playing b3, g3 versus Fedoseev, symmetrical Grunfeld.
just as he did in the other games.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a good approach. You try to, play and press slowly.
Yes.
Have small advantage in space. And we're going back to Koneru's game. It seems like it is Petrov, yeah? Petrov
It is a Petrov. And with this quirky system that Grischuk first came up with.
Really?
Yeah, it looks completely bizarre. But there were some problems that along the E line that
With B3.
I think Grischuk against Caruana, I think, is the game.
Well, and second board Tan Zhongyi versus Lei Tingzhe. We have,
have a quick glance there.
another Queen's Gambit. It's not even Ragozin, it's
It's
accepted,
the-
yeah?
It is accepted, isn't it? Yes.
And so far,
Okay, so let's head back to the Slav with Vidit and Bu Zhangji. Vidit, of course, is known for his fantastic preparation.
yes. And but the games are going slow for now, and I'm trying to check if there's some great action on other boards. I'm seeing some great action, but for example, Bodanuka Sushenina is like bishop on h3.
Okay,
Abdumalik Shansai, Khotanashvili Bella. Bella is having knight on f4, and then we have a great, absolutely fantastic Dutch defense in Chaperon versus Li Kuang. But this is all
okay.
very interesting. But let's
Okay,
keep
so-
going on the top two boards because that's
Those are the
those most important. Yeah.
yeah.
So in
This
Wu's
is-
game, he is down 47 seconds compared to his opponent, but he's got his bishops very
Yeah, I was,
solidly placed on f6 and e8, especially the bishop on e8 is very important.
and the game on the screen, which is Richard
Yeah.
Rapport Fedoseev,
Yes, and Report managed to go
he gets e4,
e4.
and that's a slight
Advantage for white.
always a slight advantage when you get
Because
e4,
now here
d
he
takes
captures
e4.
on e4, and with the threat of knight d6, black is not in time to play c5, which means that white can go c5 himself and plant that knight on d6, but
He's actually played e3.
e3 followed maybe by bishop h6 even.
No, c5
No,
played.
but c5 is very solid, and the question is what is Richard going to do, because Fedoseev is just doing all these solid right moves, opening the position, exchanging the bad bishop, and we're looking at knight e4. Richard is adding some spice to the game.
He definitely is, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Knight-
going for this d4, d5, maybe even think, trying to.
I agree. Yes, d4, d5 looks incredibly strong.
Black is probably forced even to take on e4.
Well, knight d6 is a big threat, so
Yeah.
if you take on d4, then knight d6 is probably winning, right?
Right, so either black has to play queen c7 avoiding knight d6, or he has to take on e4. And I think that he probably has to change the knight because, again, after queen c7, d5, black's bishop on b7 will be very limited in his abilities, which is why he changed his bishop.
Exchanged bishops.
And in Vidit's game, we see massive exchanges taking place, black taking over the
Okay.
d file, and I think black completely equalized now, even though his bishop on e8 is not that great.
Okay, so this one, Vidit versus Bu, we're probably getting ahead into a draw.
Yeah.
So while we go to
Back to women.
back to the women, yes, to
Because I feel that Gunina just misplayed slightly her opening prep. After bishop b4, white is faced with a serious threat of black's knight e4.
knight e4 is
And
coming
considering how those black bishop pinning white's knight so impressively, I think black is actually having a small
because
advantage.
it is impressive because the queen doesn't have a great place.
Yeah, she just went back with
That's
queen
a
d1.
d1,
That's
yeah.
a sign of
That's
things
a-
that went wrong.
I like those moves because it means you're kind of not too proud to
Yeah,
admit
that's
that you've
actually
made a
admitting
mistake.
you being wrong, taking back the move.
And
is
while things are
hard.
quiet on the top board, let's have a look at Tang Zhongyi and Lei
And Tang
Tingzhe.
Qiuyi, Lei Tingzhe, I think black is doing a great job. She just managed to get a pair of bishops. That knight on e5 is extremely powerful, and looking potentially to go to the d3 square. Black's bishop on c8 has the a6 square available for him.
Yeah,
And the only thing is black has to be concerned with is his limited kingside development. And
yeah, but with the queens off, I mean, white has to deal with the queens could be
Yeah.
coming off if you see
yeah, queen's off is less dangerous for
less
black.
dangerous for
Yes.
black.
And do we have some results yet? No, we don't
No,
have
no,
results
no
yet.
results. Although I expect there will be results
But
soon.
Vidit suddenly captured on d4 with the pawn, and the idea is to meet black's bishop d7 with d5 push, obtaining a very small pull. Just a small technical detail, but
Yeah.
it might be important because black's queen on d8 is sort of stuck protecting that a5 pawn. And if the queen moves and white plays d5, especially considering that black kingside pawns are placed on the white squares,
Yes,
it gives white some very small chances for the better endgame.
and bishop d7 in fact played, and of course
And
d5 on
is
the board.
played. And in Rapport versus Fedoseev, we see Rapport is saying
let's have a look.
great tactics by playing c5. He's placed his rook very unusually on a4, and I like how his rook is placed. Now he's got a strong pair of bishops, extra pawn, very active rook on a4, and now he is faced with the only threat by black, which is to play e4 followed by knight e5.
And Fedoseev is on 14 seconds. That's very stressful.
Yeah.
Very
He's pawn
stressful.
down and he's low on
Pawn down,
time,
low on
but he
time.
has good
Okay,
possibilities with his knight.
nice move e5, e4,
Queen
just to get the
a4, and Richard is also getting lower on time. Rook c6, he's playing a preventive game. He's
Rook
playing,
c6.
Yeah, he's trying to get the
Queen
rook
goes
to
to
d6
b8.
now and then take over the file, and maybe white.
Okay, but the knight is loose, so this
Yeah.
gives me ideas. Okay, so knight
Knight
e5
e5
and then
bishop
b2.
probably has c6
And
and,
a
bishop
c6.
d6 is coming. Yeah, interesting. C7. Oh, black
Oh
just
wow!
that pawn is rolling, and after rook takes e8, queen takes e8, massive exchanges, rook c1, followed by bishop f1, and the white is very close to clinching a victory
And,
in this game. And
Rook c1.
maybe rook d1 with the idea of rook d8.
Yeah, okay, so rook c1 and then bishop.
I like rook d1
rook d1
better
yeah.
actually, because if knight d3, bishop f1,
He's actually played rook
c1,
c1.
rook c8, and now bishop f1 has to be played.
And bishop f8.
Or maybe bishop
bishop
d6. Yeah, bishop.
Yeah, bishop d6.
Yeah, to meet knight d3 with rook c6, because then, but knight f7 of course, and black's bishop is coming to e5, and I think knight bishop d6 was inaccurate. Bishop f1 was in fact preferable.
Yeah.
And we see
And
some.
now, he's got his bishop.
h3,
front.
very strong.
g5.
g5.
Bishop h.
g4 and now bishop f1 and
Bishop f1
and
now.
black is lost because
Now-
there is no
now
defense against bishop a6.
He's gone bishop
And
e5.
Richard just takes on e5 and plays bishop a6. He wins the rook and
That's
Fedosey
it. And
resigns.
does that?
Fedosey
oof.
doesn't look very happy.
No,
at
no,
all.
no. It's not very happy. So
He
do
just
we
lost
have
the important game.
And let's go quickly to Vidit against Bu Jiangji.
And Bu is stuck in a slightly unpleasant game, but I see
Yeah, it just. we'll come back to this one.
yeah.
This one will.
because black just plays king e7
Yeah.
and king d6 and shuffles.
And let's
bishop
have a look
f5.
at.
And in Canero's game, she's just being put to extreme pressure by
She has.
Gunina. Gunina
And
is
she's
suddenly
just lost a piece.
better.
And she's now
Well,
completely lost.
well, she's down in exchange. So
Ah, okay. Sorry, I didn't count the pieces on my
right.
bad.
So, but after bishop f5, black has to play rook e8. So maybe c4. Interesting. Bishop takes c4, but Gunina just blundered that pawn on g6, and she just keeps on opening the files for her bishops, just throwing all in.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
In
You have to
Hengshui
do
game,
that.
we have black in rook endgame, but she is losing her g6 pawn, which means that black will probably have to settle for a draw, and she goes for the rook takes f4, and this is a draw. So we're going back to
let's
Canero's
get
game,
back to Canero's
because
game.
Vidit's game ended in a draw, and Gunina is trying very hard to do something with her pair of bishops, and she almost seems to make it because there is the threat of bishop c6. Black's knight on h5
King
is
has to go
extremely
to
limited,
a8.
and rook takes h5, and white has an extra pawn on the rook endgame. And after a6,
And
king e4,
King e4. Bring the king in.
rook d6, and now rook,
I'll wait for the live stream to.
and it seems to be still drawish because
No, d5.
d5, rook d6, and now you have to protect the d5 pawn, which means that rook cannot attack the
Yes.
f6 pawn, and just a5 pawn moves,
No, yes,
and,
this is probably a draw after
and
all
black
that.
is completely okay, and we're looking at
in
the
fact,
draw.
in fact, could it be that black is
No, it's just a draw. Rook a4, and there's just
a6?
rook a1 and start checking. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it is a draw because there is a rule in the rook endgame. Actually, black is worse again because after rook b1 check and king c5
King c5 now happens. Yeah.
and d6, and white is suddenly much better. In fact, she is winning.
She's winning now.
Yeah,
so,
she is
okay.
winning now. And d7
What a turnaround! No, she's got her king
incredible.
completely
Rook
cut off.
d2 check, king c6, and if a4, then rook can go even to b8,
And it is
it's
gone
game
there.
over because there is king e7
And the pawn is just
and
too far away
f6
to do
pawn
great,
falls. White takes rook, gives up his own rook for the a pawn, wins f6 pawn, and it's
really. And that's it.
game over.
Game.
It's incredible how in just in one move in the rook endgame, which was a draw, black manages to let white king get into the game, and she loses an important game, and she loses her leadership.
Yes.
with this game.
Okay. She does, in fact, lose.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how. Let's see how Tang Zhong. That ended in a draw, so they're still
They co-lead. Yeah.
they're co-lead.
Yeah.
And,
And that's we have still a game in progress, which is Abdumalik versus Kotanashvili, and it is the only game which is left currently on board. We are going back to this absolutely drawn endgame. I think
But with
was just drawn,
yes.
and all game has finished.
And
And
it's
that
agreed
was
to,
an
yeah.
exciting first round of the double round of the day. Great opener. We have change of leadership, not change yet, but
Not a change. They've tied.
yeah, but the second
the
place,
second place is
managed
caught
to
up.
catch
so,
up. Yeah.
yeah.
So we'll get back to you in just in a small bit to see the second round of this match.
Yes. Goodness. round 13, which saw the leaders being caught by the chasing pack. And we're going to join in all the action of round 14. And we are going to rejoin the game of, shall we start with the Hampi Koneru and Valentina Gunina?
Absolutely. Koneru has to win to even the match.
Definitely. And of course, as we saw, the direct encounters is the first tiebreak that they use in order to determine medals. So important game. So she plays this A6 system that's become very, very trendy in the Queen's Gambit decline.
Yeah.
But I like the way Hampi plays it, just exchange. Take it into exchange variation.
And the second board will have very exciting Scotch game with Queen 7, 95 fighting line. H4 has been all the rage lately. I have seen a lot of games lately, and I'm curious to see what's happening in that game.
Yeah.
In the game of Bu and Vidit, we have very standard line.
This is from
Bishop G5 takes F6 and Queen E7 again.
Yes. Okay, Ragozin.
Which is incredible because last game they had very similar. Black had two bishops, white has more space. Eventually it's a draw, and it's going to be a draw probably this game as well. And Fedosiev has to win to, get back to his
to even
good
match.
score. Yeah.
And
although I'm very surprised with the Rapport's opening choice because his pieces are kind of passive, and that's not the way to play against Fedosiev really. Although white has no clear plan at the moment because black covers all the important central squares and bishop on d4 while looking pretty good, he probably will have to be rerouted back to f4
I think it's one of these wait and see positions where both sides, white tries to build, black does.
And then we have an exciting action starting up in Koneru versus Gunina because Gunina just went b5 without any development, and we're seeing a lot of pawn movements. Knight takes on d5 followed by e4 and fc6. Then bishop c4, white has to sacrifice that knight for the lead in the development and potential attack.
This must be preparation, right? Judging by the time control.
Oh, queen e3.
Queen e3, nice move. Hang on, wait 1 second. Does that work?
Black has to take on d5, pawn takes on d5, queen takes d5, and bishop d3 has to be played with the idea of bishop e4.
And we're going to see everything?
Bishop e4, and we'll just see what is the prep all about. Oh, it was just an ordinary blunder.
Or is it just a blunder?
Yeah. Ooh. Oh. Big questions. I think bishop d3 has to be, or rook c1. I think, but after bishop e7.
What's happening?
Bishop c4 and d5 anyway, because there's rook c8 at the end. Yeah.
Okay, so bishop e7, just quickly run through that line. Bishop c4, and then
queen d7, for example.
We do also have bishop, queen takes bishop.
Queen takes bishop.
Because we are a piece up.
I really don't like that because rook takes, bishop takes, queen e4, rook a7, d5, and you have the threat of d6, and bishop is hanging as well.
Oops.
So that's, although it's not the end, because after d6, rook can take on e7. So it's very tricky.
Chess is tricky.
Chess is extremely tricky. And in the second game between Lei Tingjie and Tang Chunhui, all Chinese derby, we have knight b4. I think, in general, in the Scotch game, black is having slightly worse endgames, but in this particular situation, I'm not sure just who is better. Black is clearly having a huge time advantage of 1 minute and 20 seconds compared to white's 1 minute.
Yeah. And bishop e7 played in the Hampi. Yes, these Scotch endings are rather random. You think that black is better because of the two bishops, but this pawn structure with these double pawns are not very good.
Exactly. And we're going back to our bull game, and he is suddenly on the defensive. I'm not sure how much of the defensive it is because white is just planning to play bishop d5 and exchange everything, right?
Yeah.
And black will have to cover his e4 square, e4 pawn by playing f5, which means opening his king. But the most important thing for white is to exchange that one pair of bishops and get rid of black's strong pair of bishops.
And what about if I get a bit avant-garde and just go h5, h4?
h5 and h4.
Yeah. Oh no, he's played very quietly with that. Well, not quietly, but queen f6 is a very nice move.
But after bishop d5, bishop c3, rook takes c3, and queen d6, it was a nice trick.
Yes.
Nice little trick.
Bishop c3.
So if bishop c3, white has to take with the pawn. And that is perfectly okay because that pawn, once it reaches c4 square, it connects with the bishop.
And we can see bishop c3.
And we'll see bishop, pawn takes c3, and black will have to take on d5, rook takes d5. And we're reaching the heavy pieces endgame where this little discoordination between a3 and c3 pawns is covered well by the presence of the strong d4 square for white rook. And going back to Fedosiev game, we suddenly have some action. Fedosiev manages to bring the game into an endgame stage where he has very strong pair of bishops and
a
more
nice
importantly,
pawn. And a nice pawn on a6.
Exactly. And Fedoseev just converts his pair of advantage pair of bishops into the extra pawn in the opposite color, bishop endgame, which means that black has very good chances to hold, but he will be facing an unpleasant task because again that pawn on a6 might become vulnerable once white rook reaches the critical 7th rank.
Yeah.
So we're looking. We're going back at the women's
Humpy Canary game because
and the white managed to recover her extra her missing piece by playing t5. Black plays rook c7, and white has certainly an advantage now because that bishop on d5 is extremely strong. He will be covering and pointing at black's weak f7 pawn, which means that knight is going to e5, and then white is going to pile up on that poor f7 pawn, and with slightly weakened black's queen side, I say.
Oh, we have fireworks on the board
Bishop
already.
F7
Bishop f7 check.
Wow. Queen f4 check and queen takes
Queen
c7,
f4
and white wins. And white wins the game, and she manages to even the score.
Even the score, yes.
Yeah, that was a fantastic blunder. But okay, I don't know. Was it part preparation? Was it part blunder? But Gunin is down to her last seconds.
Yep.
And in the Tangcheng we have white playing with 0 seconds on the clock. 0 seconds, slightly better position, but no time at all. And
yes, 8 seconds.
8 seconds.
8 seconds.
Yeah, very small time. Very, very small time. King c2. Players are starting to play really fast. Bishop on f4, that pawn on g2 is hanging, and now rook takes d2 followed by knight d5. Seems to be a killer blow, and I'm not sure how white can...
Well, now we can... rook takes d2 looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, because rook takes d2, bishop takes e3, and there's bishop f5 check, so there's no rook d2. But she plays rook g7, and somehow Fedoseev lost his extra piece.
What?
He is losing to Richard Rapport, and it's going to be 2-0 for the black player, and he will actually become, I think, a new leader because he won both games. Yeah?
He has won both games, so
he is winning both games.
And this is dependent on Bu because at the minute there's two players tied for.
Right. And
First
I see
place.
that Bu is going to have a pawn up after taking on d7 or taking on a7, and he's playing very safe chess. He doesn't allow black an activity and opportunity to get with rook to d2. So he has an extra pawn on d4, which is extremely difficult to convert, but he's going for the rook endgame.
Yes.
Rook d7 and queen c5 and queen takes d4 will be probably played.
And still.
And and they're going to this rook endgame, which is very famous with Dvoretsky. They actually, Fedoseev just resigned,
okay.
and we are having a famous Dvoretsky rook endgames with the white's extra 8 pawn. And we have a result in Conero's game. She won.
And late in
G, white, even though she had much less time and was in worse position, now she's got
winning.
much better position. 2 bishops, very strong H pawn, and most importantly, 2 bishops.
And the two players are actually very good friends. I can use.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's important to that. Of course, black's pawn on a7 is in prize, and white can always take it, and she does not.
No, she doesn't. But she's got her goal on this.
I understand, but taking that pawn and then rolling the a pawn is like.
Yes,
hello,
that's true.
And now she sees it. Now she plays
sees
a6.
it now. But sometimes it happens in Blitz that no, it's now it's been spotted. Now it moved. It was hiding a little bit. It was like camouflaged.
Yeah, but in Bu's game we have some small change.
So while the
white give up his 2 pawns
actually
to roll his a pawn ahead, and after h4.
Okay, so let's have a look at this technical ending with Bu Vidit.
Yes, but after king g7 even, rook a2, king b5, and it's just check. Pawn on f2 is hanging.
Yeah.
Bu is actually in danger of losing.
He's gone f3.
He had an extra pawn, and now he has to just play rook h8 and give up that a7 pawn, take an h3 and make a draw.
No, he's not.
He's going for the king b6.
He's going for king b6.
Yeah, but just check, and it's going. They're going to go for a draw.
I think they're just going to repeat
black can just play
moves.
king g7, and because white's rook will be extremely limited. King c6 and
okay, the players are agreeing.
Yeah, Vidit is claiming 3 folds at the bishop.
A draw. Yes.
Very smart. Yeah,
okay,
clearly
so
the guy knows all the rules. We have Late in G. She is nursing a pawn up, and she's probably winning because white has this bishop f5 maneuver. Knight f8. very strong. Bishop f5 still, because if
Bishop
she takes,
f5?
then bishop g7, and white wins because black just lost
Yeah,
the knight.
you're just going to. Oh,
Yeah, she just lost knight because knight cannot move
well, wait
because
one
of
yes.
h7. Yeah, it's game over.
It is game over.
Game over, and
there's
that
no way to
means the first game
sacrifice.
was a draw, I think.
First game was a draw.
Yeah, so
that
means
means that Humpy is alone at the top once more.
yeah, because Tanjui was the one who was
He had
next
caught
to
her,
her.
but also Valentina Gunina had also caught Humpy up.
Yeah, but Gurina lost the game, so
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
yeah,
So Humpy is now
clear first.
9.5 points.
Yeah, and let's take a look at some other games in the meantime. We have draw. Gelfand is a draw, and Chonska just beat Yu Yangyu in
Excellent.
another rook endgame. So that means we are left with the.
There aren't too many games left. I'm just having a scour.
Yeah, I think that's about it, because
I think
18G
that's
was
it.
the last
18G
game.
was the last game, and
Last game, and this is the end of the first double round.
yes, round 14 gone. Yeah,
Oof.
it goes so fast, doesn't it? Just
The main winner of the round was Richard Rapport. He just
definitely
won 2
he
games.
won two games.
I think he
against,
overtakes the leader, no?
He does overtake the leader
Because he was half point behind.
he'd equaled. Yeah, with 2-0 with this 2-0, he
half
has
a point
definitely
ahead of him now. He's clear
exactly
leader.
8.5 points.
So we'll get back to you for the second round,
yep,
and there are
see
only
you shortly.
4 more rounds to go.
Yes, that's 8 games.
Okay. And we are ready to go.
And we are back, and let's have a quick check up on the standings after that magnificent round 14. So in the women's section, we have Hampi Kanaru leading with 9.5 points. Close behind is Alexandra Kostenyuk, who, remember, in the Rapids had this wonderful spurt at the end, and she's on 9 points after her 2-0 victory. And then we have Tang Zhongyi and then Valentina Gunina, Lei Tingjie, all on 8.5. In the men's section, things are not as close. We have Richard Rapport leading the event with 9.5 points, and Bu Jiangji close behind with 9 points. And then it's a 1 point lead over Anton Korobov, Andreikin, Vidit, Leko, and Gelfand.
Surprisingly.
8 points, and some fantastic scores there. But the action has taken off, and we are going to be following Boris Gelfand against Richard Rapport, and Bu against Peter Leko. And a curious fact is that bottom seed of the tournament is Bu.
Yeah.
Next bottom seed is Richard.
Yeah.
And both these guys are actually
And I'm very
leading.
impressed to see Boris playing on the first board.
Yeah.
I mean, he's clearly by far the oldest participant, but he's doing well and he's challenging Richard, because if Boris managed to win the match, he is closing on the leaders really fast. We have Dutch defense.
Stonewall.
By
You don't often see a Stonewall.
Rapport.
Yeah.
Wow. But 96,
But-
Stonewall.
96. But also Boris has played knight BD2 very quickly early.
Yeah, because he plays the setup with white all the time. He
Does
played
he?
against me in our candidates match in the Blitz game.
Okay. I thought it was maybe a little bit inaccurate because this bishop. Anyway.
Right.
Okay.
And
let's
Peter
get to-
against the Bull. It's Tarash. Peter plays it with black just to equalize, make a solid draw, and he's going to go for an advantage with white. Then we have
Definitely.
Harika versus Canero. We have
All Indian match. Yeah.
All Indian match. Interesting.
Both these players did quite badly actually in the Rapid, so
Really?
it's nice to see that they're at the top.
Okay, but again, something to see. Both have Gancha to the bishops. I don't know who's better, but let's take a look at Kostenyuk and Guina. This is
Definitely.
all Russian match. Wow,
Yes.
what a nice matchup this round.
Well, this one definitely looks like there's going to be a lot of fireworks. So Gunina played Sicilian.
Rouser was bishop f6, which is e takes f6, which is, I don't know, highly unusual. Probably good idea because Kostenyuk herself is a very aggressive player, and Gunina is just going to, as we seen here last game, where she was worse, but she was opening the files for her bishops. She's going to go probably for f5, d5, bishop g7, throwing everything just to open her bishops.
Yeah.
That's what I suspect she is going to do.
Okay, so let's revisit. Oh, sorry.
Let's
I'm
go
messing
back to our
around.
top boards.
Let's leave those arrows behind and go back to our Stonewall Dutch.
Yes, and
To me, it looks like a great Stonewall
that
Dutch.
96, this is very unusual. I mean, Richard is playing.
Yeah,
His
but
approach to chess is so unorthodox.
it definitely is. But it looks great to me. I mean, just superficial, because this bishop is out.
Yeah, can just black take on c3, take on b4. I mean, but then rook b1 and
We see
b5.
Wow.
Wow,
That's a move you often see in a Queen's Gambit. You see it in a Queen's Gambit declined, you know,
yes,
they
but
go
the
b4.
b5 and Boris just immediately goes knight b3. He
He's
follows
not
his
surprised.
intuition that knight belongs on c5,
Yeah.
and Richard immediately recaptures with.
No. There's
knight d3 coming.
He's taken knight takes b4.
And I like this move. It's not greedy because knight d3 is a threat and knight a2 is a threat.
Right, and there's going to be problems with this
White
pin.
has to take on b4 and take on c7 probably. Oh, but Boris still goes for knight c5.
Knight
But after
c5.
knight a2, he's in big trouble because he's down. He'll be down
Yeah.
material. He just blundered because if he takes on
Knight b3
he has to
is a
play
big mistake.
bishop b4, and if knight c1, then knight takes e4, queen e4. There's a big mess in tactics. I suspect Richard can just take on b4.
He's taken up the gauntlet.
He's
gone
going for
knight
the
takes
rook.
c1.
He's going for the rook. Wow.
Yeah.
And if
Brave. And he's gone
White
knight
has
takes.
to take on e4.
And now what happens next? Queen takes.
Queen takes,
Queen
and then
takes,
and then what?
e4.
Because the bishop f8 and knight d3, intermediate move, and white queen cannot.
Oh, he's gone. We're expecting knight d3.
Knight d3 still has to be played probably.
But does the queen get trapped? I'm thinking that.
But
if
knight d3, queen b5, rook f8, knight d2, or knight e5, and queen
Okay.
does get trapped. So
Yeah,
the
knight
question
e5,
for
yeah.
black is what to do. It seems like Boris maybe outcalculated his opponent, and knight c1 was a little bit too hasty. And we see Richard is starting to think, because he doesn't like his position, and his time is getting lower.
And knight e5 is definitely...
Pressure is adding up, and the game is wide open. Maybe black has to play simple queen d3, just to get that queen out of the harm way, prepare knight e2 check, to return the knight.
If you were to go rook takes f8, that's it, knight e5, right? There's no...
I think just rook takes c1, just be very positional. Both black pawns are hanging,
does this
c7 and
keep
b5.
the queen?
Knight e5, yeah.
There might be a... Yeah.
But then knight d3.
Yeah, but then I move my queen
To
somewhere.
a3, b4, and then this exchange.
Yeah.
Well,
Or I can even hit a8. I was going to take on b5. But anyway, let's catch up with the action.
But he does play knight d3, and I'm surprised that white didn't take on b5. That was
And he's played
queen
d2.
He played queen d2. He's going
d2.
for knight e5. He just wants to grab that queen,
Yes.
but of course black can just go back with his queen to e8 or e6, and white will take on d3.
And we see queen e8 on
Queen
board.
d3 is coming, queen takes f8, and queen b5, and black is stuck in a much worse pawn structure with terrible bishops, and white has great targets for his knight.
And queen takes d3.
Great squares, and f4, intermediate move.
It needs to be played.
It is a good move, but after queen b3, is black going just to give up his piece by leaving white's bishop on f8? That's a big question to me,
problem, isn't it?
because if he doesn't, then white just takes on f4. On the other hand, black has time to play c6 then. Very tricky, very impressive game. In the second board between Bu and Leko, we have white player pressing. He's got rook on the 7th, knight on the e5, hitting a lot of squares. And in the women's section, Harika versus Canero. Canero is down to her last seconds compared to Harika's 1 minute. I think white is pressing.
White is definitely
in
pressing.
Kostyniuk's game, she is just 1 pawn up versus Gunina's pair of bishops. About fair deal, I would say. But Gunina is very long time, and again, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Going back to Gelfand versus Richard Rapport, rook e8, knight e5, obviously centralizing knight, because Boris is all about centralizing his pieces. And queen d6, great move. Black is ready to take that knight on e5. And if knight takes on g6, then white's pawn on e3 is hanging. So both players are playing good defensive and counter-offensive chess.
And Boris just goes queen takes b5.
And I think bishop takes
e5.
And if pawn takes, then queen e7 or queen e6.
Definitely, it's important not to go queen takes e5 because of rook f8.
Or queen e5 and rook f8, yeah. So queen e7 is played, but that means white is left with an important pawn on e5.
Yeah.
He can just go bishop c6, for example, hit that rook, and that e5 pawn will be
He's
protected.
actually played rook c1.
He plays rook c1. White is a pawn up. Clearly, he is much better. The question is, can he win this game? And in the second board position, we have Peter. He managed to consolidate. He's got better structure. His rook is not that active, and I think it might end up in a draw.
It definitely, especially when you take into account Bu has only 6. Oh, and he's struggling to put his pick up his knight.
The knight takes on b6, knight e3.
Knight takes b6.
Knight e3 and king f4, because if rook b2, then check on knight d7. So either black plays knight e3 or he just goes for rook takes a2, but that leaves him in a worse rook endgame. So I suspect it will be knight e3. And in Gelfand's game, they just managed to equalize,
and
draw,
draw agreed.
And Harika is down a pawn versus Canero. And Canero,
let's have a look.
Campi's got more time. Kostyniuk actually won the game. I think it was on time because the position is clearly quite playable yet.
Yeah.
So that leaves us with the
Harika
and Bu. And in Bu's game, Leko played knight e3, which is correct, and I think and rook d7 check. White is going to try to go to make a draw, which is the correct decision.
Yeah.
Because
and going to Harika and Humpy.
Harika and Humpy is on an offensive. She's got more time. She's got extra pawn, and she's got great attacking pieces. Rook e2 is coming. Knight f3. She wins an exchange, and is clearly one game. I think as long as she doesn't blunder something, she will win this game.
Yes, rook goes.
Yeah.
No, the rook is going to
Queen c6. Okay, they're making some super solid moves. c4, important to move the pawn.
Yeah.
Black is just going rook d3 at some point, a3,
and
rook d3, rook takes
c3
c3.
is gonna...
Yeah. she's got extra pawn and an exchange up.
Yeah, an exchange up,
It
and
is-
it's a very comfortable
It is
win.
enough. It is enough.
Okay, so let's have a look at any.
Both game is a draw.
It is.
That means we are watching Haruka's game, and White is trying really
We
hard.
still have some. We can now look at Gawain Jones against Dominguez.
And Gawain Jones lost.
Ah, he just lost. Okay.
Yeah, because there was a check, double forking. There are some other games in progress, but Cheparinov just beat Ponomaryov. Korobov just defeated Vidit.
Yes, and
We see both rapid winners actually moving up the tournament rankings. Both Kostyanyuk and Korobov, they're moving up.
And let's have a look at Lei Tingji against Irina Krush.
Right. It seems that Lei Tingji is winning. She's
It
got
does
2
look
pawns, connecting
Yeah.
pawns, active king, active rook.
And
It
this-
is enough for a win.
And these pawns are not going to be
Let's
moving.
take a look at Tan Shui game. She is winning as well. She is beating up to Malik Shansai because she's got more material. And Hampi finally won.
Yes,
And who else?
we have Bodnar.
Andre can beat Wang Hao. We have Le Guanglin versus Yu Yangyi.
And on bottom board, we can have a look at Zhao Jue against Bodnaruk.
We haven't seen the Bodnar games in a quite long time, yeah?
No.
Mostly rapids. Now, after e5 is a draw. Okay, so it is a draw.
That's a draw.
And Muzachuk Marie versus Nana Jagnidze is the rook versus knight, which
There's a draw.
should be a draw. Stefanova Antoinette versus Elizabeth Bassett is
That
a draw.
was a draw.
And the only games remaining are the ones where White is desperately trying to go for the blockade in the Abdumalik versus Tanjui, and Lei
Okay, let's
Tingji
have a look at
is winning.
that. Yes, okay, so that's an easy win. Tang Zhongyi and
Le Quang is seems to be like a draw.
okay, Le Quang.
Rook f5, yeah, very solid. King comes and it's a draw. And what else we have?
So let's. How's that?
So there are only two games in progress, yeah?
There's only
No,
yes.
Bela Katanishvili is playing.
She's finished, I think.
She's finished. Yeah, she's lost. O'Shane is completely won. So,
in results, Mammadov actually defeated Fedoseev. So Mammadov had
so
actually.
inflicted third consecutive defeat on
Yes,
Fedoseev. Wow.
But Mammadov was the tail ender. He really was putting a quite
Yeah,
bad
but as we
performance.
mentioned before, he is a fantastic blitz player, and
Yes.
something prevented him from showing his best in this particular tournament. But he can strike anytime, he can beat anybody, and as we can see in this game, he's extremely dangerous when he has nothing to lose.
And Lei Tingji defeated Irina Krush, and we have keep an eye on this game, the remaining game, which is
The
Le
main
Quan
game
Yin,
is
Yu
between Le
Yang
Quan Lim, yeah, and it seems to be Rook A5, Rook takes A3,
And
and
that's
it
it,
is a draw. Yeah.
Oh, the clock is running. Better stop the clock. Yeah.
Okay, and the final game is Muzachuk versus Jagnidze, but I think they agreed on a draw because the clocks are not running. And that means this is the end of this first round of the second double round of the day.
Yep.
Some exciting games.
It's definitely some exciting games, and you know.
Kostyanyuk beating Gunina.
Exactly, her third victory in a row. So she's really repeating the trend that she established in the rapid,
and
where she
she's
won her
just
games.
half a point behind Hampi, Kostyanyuk.
Yes,
Wow.
half a point
So
behind.
we'll get back to you shortly and
Yep.
continue this exciting event.
See you after the break. Welcome back, and it's now round 16, and that was certainly a thriller, as Blitz games usually are. And we are looking forward to a revenge match. So this time, Houska will be looking to take revenge on Humpy, and Gelfand will perhaps be. Gelfand and Rapport will be also on the top board and fighting it out to see who will win that match. We're going to focus on the games Boris Gelfand and Richard Rapport, and also Peter Leko and Bu Jiangji, and Humpy and Houska, and
Gunina versus Kostyuk.
And Gunina versus Kostyuk, because Kostyuk is really motoring.
Yeah. And Richard
opens with his
B3
formula.
And knight of 5. It's been all played by him. We should probably start coining this system like Richard's system. And Leko is going for super solid rook e1, bishop f1. We see Vidit is saying symmetrical Grunfeld versus Korobov. And Humpy is playing super solid queen c2 Slav defense versus Houska, because she just needs actually draw. But I think these players, they know each other really well. And we'll see how the fight goes.
This is how Humpy plays. Humpy always plays like this, very calmly, and then takes the fight in the middle game. And let's have a peek at Gunina against Kostyuk, because Gunina needs to win in order to level the match.
Needs to win, and these two players know each other really well as well.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of probably who is who, and they know it, and it's very nice, that the tournament allows us to see, for the players, the ability to demonstrate which one is a better player in this format.
Yeah.
And in Gunina versus Kostyuk, we see Italian game, which is, again, pretty symmetrical, h3, h6, rook e1, rook e8. But now Kostyuk demonstrates very aggressive intentions by playing knight h5, and that knight is going to f4, followed by queen f6, and she is demonstrating her aggressive action, and she is saying to Gunina, you're attacking player, but I'm a better attacking player, and I'm going to get you.
Exactly.
So, in the top men's board, we have Richard Rapport versus Gelfand, and Richard playing his favorite b3. Again, he is extra pawn up. This is amazing to me. He's playing this off-bit system, and people just go and sacrifice pawns to him.
But he's in trouble. I mean, I don't like this. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I don't like this.
But after queen c4, I think white is just okay.
Well, he played queen c3.
E4 is even better, because what is black going to do? Is he going to play queen b5? He needs to reinforce his bishop b5 threat, right? Because if queen moves somewhere else, then white just takes on d3.
But if you go queen b5, then you can get attacked one more time.
a4.
Yes.
Yeah, a4, and then queen a6, and then maybe even b4, yeah?
Yeah, because so queen b5 played, and we are going to see a4. Yeah,
well, what else do you expect?
Exactly. So queen goes to a6.
And a b4.
And b4.
And then bishop e5, queen b3 check, bishop e6. So bishop e5 will be met by queen a3, a very cold-blooded move, and black has a pawn down. He will have to exchange also the pair of bishops, leaving white with a strong queen and knight. Far advanced pawn on d3.
Yeah, this is now going to become a target, right?
Yeah, exactly. But white is clearly better now. Bishop e5 is played.
We are really
queen
predicting
a3
moves.
is coming.
Queen a3. Queen a3.
And white is a pawn up, and Boris doesn't like the position by the looks of it. And in the second board we have Leko
against Bu.
And Leko is actually worse, because the super solid
and this f6.
And she just goes rook d1, prepares for this eventual taking on c5, followed by knight e5, bishop f3, bishop d3, and I like white's position.
Yeah.
I like white's position. She is probably better.
And moving to Gunina and Kostyuk.
Gunina just sacrificed the pawn, just like that.
Like it.
Why?
I don't know.
She likes to open her files. She likes to open the files for the bishops, but
applaud such bravery.
Yes, but sacrificing pawn versus Kostyuk.
Yes,
just like last game. Yeah, Kostyuk just took some pawns and eventually won the game.
She did, and
and Gunina is running into huge time trouble again.
Yeah, that's not advisable. 34 seconds.
Yeah, she lost the previous game on time. She lost the previous game, and now she is very close to losing the same game. And Richard Rapport just gave up his extra pawn to take on d7, play rook d5, and take on d3 maybe. I think that would be one explanation why
queen
this happened.
takes d7, bishop
that
takes d7.
Means white is still left with the pawn up.
And rook d5.
Managed to take that pawn on d3. So black certainly has compensation because he has a pawn majority on the queen side. But if he does not manage his counterplay correctly, he is facing quite an underhill struggle to make a draw. and Richard already won the first game.
Exactly. So this is a fantastic position to be in for
yes,
for
and
Richard.
Peter Leko, he's just playing very solid chess, playing h3, b3, restricting all black pieces. He's going to make a draw, and we are looking at the draw result.
Yeah, I think we are looking
up.
at a draw result. Can we go to Humpy and Harika, because
It looks super solid.
does look
symmetrical,
super solid, but
symmetrical.
are there any
And queen goes back to h4, which I think is a correct way to play this position, except that now black has a chance to play bishop a3 and suddenly activate...
well, she's gone for e5.
She's gone for e5, and I'm not sure if e5 is such a great idea, because it does give a target for white now. If black plays e4, that gives the white square on d4.
And Humpy just very calmly, I like that, h3, the 22.
Very, very important move. Black is playing a restrictive game, because white's queen on h4 is now stuck in a way.
Yeah.
Which is why a4 is needed, because you need to create squares aloof for the queen.
Exactly, yeah.
And Gunina versus Kastyniuk, Kastyniuk not only has a pawn advantage, but she is also having a superior pieces, judging by that rook on e8, pinning down white's dark squared bishop.
Yeah.
I think Kastyniuk is looking really good in this game.
And look at that time. I mean, if we just hang around for this game for a little bit longer, you can see that Gunina 7 seconds versus 1 minute.
Right.
So
and the only thing is that Gunina just attacked the knight on h4, and queen e4, and black just transposes the game into the endgame, which is much better for black. In fact, it is close to winning.
Close to winning, I would say.
Yes, and Kastyniuk is very close to doing a double hat trick.
She's close to getting 4-0.
Yeah, she just won the rapid tournament, and she is now very close to.
And that would mean, the women are playing for €12,000 first prize. Is a very generous prize fund.
Yes, but
24,000.
and also rating points.
Yeah, okay. What do you prefer? $24,000 euros or 10 rating points, 50 rating points?
I like to think more less materialistic.
Less materialistic.
But okay, let's be real.
Okay. Yeah, let's
First
go back
board,
to
Richard versus Gelfand, and Gelfand is correctly trying to push his pawn, but white's rook on b7 is great rook.
I'm also a little bit afraid for Gelfand's.
Yeah, but I think actually Gelfand is doing great. And once the pawn goes to b3, after rook c2, b2 is very close to winning. Richard has to be now careful.
Has to be careful, right?
He has to be careful because, and the question is, can he get something more than a draw?
He has
in
a
this
draw.
position?
He has that. With this rook on d7 and this knight on f6, that is a guaranteed draw.
Yeah, but does he have more? Because rook c2 and b2 is really fast. It's coming fast.
Yeah, okay,
and,
so if I'd like to go
what about
g5,
g5, g6, g7 mate? It's just impossible because rook c2, b2, and rook takes d2 check, and b1 queen. And Richard is going for it, but after rook c2, I don't think he has...
g5,
oh my god,
b2. We're going to go rook b7.
Bishop f7.
He's gone bishop f7. Oh, okay.
King e3, b2, rook d7. I think Richard just overstepped a little bit. He has to play g6 probably now just to hold his...
No, he's gone for e5, and the tension is such that you can
he's gone for e6, g6.
Oh, he's going for this
e7.
pattern.
Look at this. Takes d2, and he is losing. And he shakes his hand. He shakes his head, and Boris is now he is winning. He tricked Richard in the time scramble, and black is completely winning. And queen f5 check just solves the game.
Queen f5, and that's it.
Followed by.
He's played king e7. It just goes to show. And now, he can't even go. He can't even go e7.
Yeah, it is still completely winning, and Boris knows it, and they both know it, and it's just a matter of time. And in the second board, we have Peter Leko playing Bu, and Leko is actually losing because black has strong king, great pawn rolling majority on the queen side.
This means that
what a turnaround.
Bu, the bottom seed, Bu.
Yeah.
Which really, I mean, because this is such a strong tournament, seeding really doesn't mean anything, let's be honest.
He is just winning, and but he's low on time. But they're both low on time.
They're both low on time. They're both playing on 5 seconds.
And Humpy is, I don't know, what happened to Humpy's game? I think it's a draw because 4 pawns versus 2 pawns on the same side. Black has a knight, but of course you cannot avoid the pawn exchange, which means it's a draw. And Gunina indeed lost her game.
And Bu has, in fact, won his game against Leko. Wow. So that means.
And Richard just overpressed. That was I was afraid of. He overpresses.
Well, this means we have a sole
No
leader
time.
in the shape of Bu Zhangji.
Yeah, he retook
And
his lead.
there's something happening with Humpy Kanaru and Harika Dronavali. They're just waiting there.
Yeah, it's interesting. What are they waiting for? Because it seems very it seems very drawish, but what's going on?
Probably some threefold repetition.
Yeah, she agrees. Okay. No.
No.
Okay, so we're completely unsure what happened because players they just talk to an arbiter and they shake their head and note it, and then the arbiter left and they keep sitting there.
Yeah.
And they even talking to each other.
Right.
While the game is in progress. It's incredible. And let's see at the other games what we have in progress. We have Crush versus Leighton G, and Crush is an exchange up, clear exchange up, so she has all the chances to win this game.
Double rooks,
and to try to catch up with the leaders. And Tanjui is playing Abdul Malik, and Tanjui is extra piece as well, and she's completely winning. I think if she just plays d4,
and she's on 8.5, so
she's queen d5 check. Of course, the problem is the knight on h5. Why not just take that pawn on f4?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just take the pawn on f4 and f d5, then queen e3, and if queen e5, then knight g3, and black is I think completely lost.
And in fact, they have reached a result. So what? It says draw, but I don't believe that.
That was the Tanjui game?
Tanjui, she's a piece up, so
very strange.
No, I think it's a win. And,
because it's
she's a piece up.
Yeah.
She's a piece up. I don't believe.
No, but it's a bishop and knight versus knight.
Oh, hang on a second. A whole lot of moves.
The whole position switched. We were missing some moves.
Yeah, we
obviously.
Suddenly.
Yeah, but Irene is now pressing, and of course she has to find the correct way for her rooks to move. Rook goes to a3, rook goes to f4, and then white has big problems playing g4. The trick was to play rook takes f5 some point, but when? After king e5, she has to give check. She
checks. No, she's gone.
King f6.
Yeah.
Rook b5.
It's very difficult to go rook takes f5 and get into.
Yeah, but now she's threatening rook takes f5, and she will indeed take on f5. But rook g3 is the huge threat by black. And rook g3, king h4. King h4 is winning on the spot.
No, she can go. Now she can go rook b3. Now rook b3 wins. No.
She could have went king h4, attack the rook, and black has no time to protect both the bishop and the rook.
Yes.
But then rook g4 check. Okay, so now it's a draw. And Irina missed just her big chance to join the leaders, and of course Boris Gelfand won. And incredible round, incredible blunders at the very last second by the players. These are very strong players, but you can see what the nerves do to these guys.
We have to go back to the Humpy game because that did in fact end in a draw.
Yeah, it is a draw.
It ended in a draw. So that means that we have a sole leader in the men's in Bu Zhangji, and then the women's section, Alexandra Kostenyuk with her 4 out of 4 start has caught Humpy up. Right. So they're both on 10 points.
So we are now waiting for the third round.
We're waiting for the round 17, I think.
Round 17.
Yeah.
So we'll get back to you.
Yeah, we'll get yeah. Suddenly I was short of words, but we'll see you after the break.
Exactly.
It was round 17. And welcome to round 17 of the IMSA World Masters Blitz. And we've seen such fantastic games where we've seen blunders, we've seen brilliancies, we've seen people
Heartbreaks, absolute heartbreaks. Yeah.
And we've also seen the leaders, the leader change hands. And in the first, we're going to catch up. We're going to focus actually on the women's section, and there we were going to look at Kostenyuk versus Pets. And then we are going to also focus on Hampi Konoru against Abdumalik Zanjaya. And on top board, we have Bu Zhangji, fun enough, bottom seed, I love that fact, leading the tournament. And he's going to be facing off against Dominguez. And Dominguez, of course, is second seed. Mm-hmm. So according to seeding, should be
interesting.
Should be
and
very interesting.
Playing Wang Hao, so we have top Chinese boards fishing top Chinese players.
And as we saw, Richard, of course, would be looking for blood after he spoiled a really fantastic position against Gelfand. He completely overpressed and missed a little.
That's the danger
swindle.
when you play such aggressive style of chess, you don't know when to stop.
Right.
And we're looking forward to the games. The players are sitting down. We can see they're all full of excitement, very tense.
Very tense.
Very, very tense.
Very, very tense, yeah.
Usually I don't see Linear like that. He's looking upset, tired, but ready to fight more.
But Bu, on the other hand, looks quite relaxed.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's such a cool customer.
He is, he's played some great chess. And the handshake, and they're off.
I like the suit, that dark suit.
I like the suit as well.
Yeah. Okay.
It's nice to see chess players dress smartly.
Yeah. Okay.
And we have Petrov.
Which is not far different from Linear. He's playing Berlin, yeah?
Yeah.
So he used to this knight of 6 move.
And we're ready.
And Richard playing B3. Again.
Well, of course, Yeah.
Even though he just suffered the devastating defeat by Boris.
Yeah. But there's a saying in English which is like, if it ain't broke, why fix it?
versus Gelfand is that was very, very symmetrical stuff. Okay, so first board, women, Pats versus Kostenyuk, London system. Yeah, way to go, Lizzie.
Well, Lizzie did a DVD on the London system, so I expect her to use. Yes.
Okay. 97, we are in the uncharted territory, and bishop comes to b5, and white is ready to go for that c6 something. Maybe she'll play an 85, maybe she will not, but that queen a4 and black's bishop on g4, they look funky together.
Yeah, isn't it that you take the knight and then go knight e5?
I don't know. I want to keep some of my trade secrets, so I'm not going to keep that information, not yet. And anyway. Second board, Canary versus Abdumalik. We have youngest player, Abdumalik, playing black side, what seems to be like a Queen's Indian with g3 and Queen c2, which is not an often guessed in these kind of events.
It can actually transpose. It might transpose into e4 has been played. If allowed, black could play e5, e4, and then...
Right, and then black seems to be completely okay.
Yeah.
So there is a huge fight for the center, for the dominance, and we'll see who is on top. In the third board, we have Gunina just playing late in G. Gunina suffered absolutely devastating 2-0 defeat to Kostenyuk, which left her, threw her way back. And
it does give her a setback, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So she has 6 games to come back.
But I like this Gunina's h5 knight h4 approach. It seems like she's going to put that knight on f5, create some pressure, and any potential knight h6 sacrifices, considering white's strong bishop on c2. Mm-hmm. So going back to the men's top boards, we see black under slight pressure. White's bishop on f4 and queen on b3 create powerful pressure on black's queen side, and black knight on d6, while well placed in most of the situations. In this particular instance,
have
it's
knight
not
e5
that great.
as well. Knight
right.
ideas.
And while in the Richard Rapport game, he is actually pressing in a strategic faction.
Very strategic, right? Because you have nice pressure against d6.
And black, if plays d5, he'll be faced with an isolated pawn.
Exactly.
Which is always nice to play in a blitz game.
Definitely, and you can always throw in the kitchen sink at some stage and go h.
On the third board, we have Andrejkin versus Gelfand. Gelfand, our surprising contestant for the top medals actually now. And Andrejkin is actually, I think, worse because black has a strong pair of bishops, a very strong center, and Andreikin's trying to compensate by it by doubling his rook on d-file and potentially exchanging light squared bishops.
But it's been...
And while I would love to go to other games where really have already result in the game between Kostyuk and Elizabeth Petz, and what happened is that white just blundered the whole queen on a4, I think. And we have a result because she just played h3 automatically without thinking. She thought that black takes on c6 with the pawn, and she just blundered her queen, which is, given the time, it's really incredible error at this level.
That's something that you do on the internet. You know, you have a pre-move. You know, takes and pre-move h3, and then the opponent goes queen takes.
There you go. Pre-moves. They suck. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Okay, anyway, it happens. Bad day at the office. Okay, so moving to Humpy Konaru against Abdulmalik. Well, this is like one of these, this is a Fianchetto.
Yeah, but Kostyuk is granted a huge
it's huge.
point.
It's huge.
Every point at this stage is like a huge benefit.
5 points out of 5.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's someone is looking down.
Especially with the black color. Now next game she's will be playing white, and she will have a huge advantage, of course.
And yeah.
Okay. And Canero now is under pressure to keep up with Kostyuk. She has to win the game, but against Abdulmalik, who is young, who is very great, has great tactical eyesight, has great position in the opening, because after white's f5, I'm not sure what that move is all about.
I like f5.
Yeah, but
you know me.
black managed to put the knight on e5, then she's just better because...
yeah, you got to get there first, though.
Yeah, but first she has to get there.
She's got to get there first.
I agree. And now we have e5, and of course we have fireworks starting.
Now,
we are looking at either pawn takes on e5, just
takes, but now
hitting
I can
that knight.
Simply go, can I...
If you go queen g6 and then just take on d4.
You take on d4.
And if the knight leaves, then there's bishop f5, and Canero, I think she just miscalculated.
Do you think it was just
I think it was just an error, because bishop goes to f5, black is a pawn up, and just much better position.
What is the...
I have no idea what happened. Because
knight b5.
Look at her time. She is very short on time. And now
what is the time?
She's sacrificing.
So 12 seconds.
12 seconds versus 2 minutes, I think. And she just resigned because she...
Did she lose on time?
No. Maybe she lost. You see her...
A very crucial point. Yes, she lost.
Going back to the top board of men, we have a nice solidity. No blunders,
that,
you know, after that whirlwind of tactics and blunders on the women's side, we have a very solid professional grandmaster draw on the first board coming up shortly.
Yes.
And on the second board, we have Richard Rapport facing Wang Hao, who are going to probably repeat the moves, because black cannot afford to play for a win, and neither can white avoid the
But this gives us the unusual...
Actually, white can play rook f4,
chance to look at other
no,
games.
they just handshake, and he agreed on the draw.
Okay, so we can actually move down to Dmitry Andreikin against Gelfand.
Yes, and I like Andreikin's position more and more now. He managed to exchange black's strong pair of bishops. He's got a very strong outpost on e4 for his queen, and black probably can play b5 now, just go for that b2 pawn.
But wait, is there going to be...
But no, he actually takes on h5. He goes for the pawn himself, because of knight e5, then queen e8, but then queen d5 check, and it looks like a draw.
Yeah.
No, Andreikin goes for g4. He is going to sacrifice that pawn. He's going to play knight d6, put that knight on f5, create some strong attacking chances, but after queen f4, I don't see any strong attacking chances.
No.
Queen d7 does allow some tricks, but after knight f5, I think black has now to be careful, because there are a lot of checks coming. If the queen gets to the 7th rank, then black is better. And Leko is facing a huge attack by Anton Korobov, who is suddenly and Leko just blundered with rook a3 check, and he is down the queen, which is why he lost the game. We go into the game of Vidit versus Geraint.
Can we go to the women's section?
Women's section, we have Kunina lost to Lei Tingji. She just got mated.
Yes.
Wow, what a turnaround.
And so that gives us a chance to go to Tang Zhongyi, Harika Dronavali.
Yeah.
And that's looking
good for black, I think.
Yeah, it looks good for black.
She has rook and a pawn, and white bishop on h1 is really bad. And it looks like queen h2. My God.
No, I didn't expect that.
That is a surprise. No, suddenly. I don't think she played queen h2. Probably queen a1 with the idea of taking... Oh, she played queen g3 with the idea of h2. Now, that is much stronger, of course.
She played what? Queen g3.
Queen g3, e5 has to be played. Probably h2, then e6, and white is trying to
e5.
open up the king's defenses. rook e8 followed by knight g4, which, yeah, knight g4 probably has to be.
Knight g4.
Knight d3.
93 is
very
passive,
solid chess,
yeah.
but passive. Queen f2, of course, and
h2, queen
I
f2.
don't know, king e2, queen g2, king e2, trying to be safe. White
And
needs
now
to play
the queen
f4 and queen f3, and then she'll be really safe. But can she do that? That is the question. After queen g3, I think White just managed to solidify her position, and
Yes.
if she does that, if she managed to capture that h2 pawn, it will be extremely critical. No, but after queen f5, knight f2, Black is back in the game with queen b1, and White is under severe attack, and she's Black in fact threatens queen e1 check.
Queen b1, yeah, queen
and,
e1 check.
And
Okay, so can you just go
queen g1 coming?
king f4.
King c1, king g4, and rook d2, and there's so many possibilities. Queen g1,
King
wow.
g4, fantastic.
King h3, and now rook d2, or rook d1 even. Rook d1, knight takes d1.
But look at the rook can go to what?
Rook d2, rook takes a2, and we're back in the game.
We're back in the game.
We're
yes.
back in the game where anything is possible.
And anything is absolutely anything.
b6
okay,
and rook takes
now,
b3.
now
Black
rook
is
a1.
better.
Rook a1.
Black now has rook and 2 pawns versus 2 minor pieces.
And this bishop is just
And
not working.
White didn't blunder, fortunately. She has f4, protecting and bishop on d5, but after rook c5, Black is still better because that a pawn is just rolling and rolling, and bishop has to go to e4, and now a4, that pawn is unstoppable. It will win a piece, at least. Rook c4 now wins
King g7
a piece,
is a good move, yeah.
but okay.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting for the live stream to catch up on my computer because
Yeah.
you're about 10 moves ahead.
I'm following all the action on the small boards, and now we're looking at the
live boards and
live board, yeah, and Haruka is clearly in the driving seat, and
well, this
she
is
knows
fantastic news for Alessandra Kostenyuk. All her rivals are dropping points.
dropping points while Kostenyuk is getting a free point.
Exactly.
That is so unfair. Life can be so very unfair, but sometimes it just happens.
It does. And the other games
We have
in the
a game of Mamedov versus Yu Yang-yi, and Mamedov c6 check, king b,
how did that happen?
and just h6 now, and now it's a draw.
No, how did that happen? Well, there's a moral here, actually. A lot of people
Actually, Black can be now
squandering.
better. King e4, rook f7, rook c6 check. Okay, Black just completely messed up.
You need to be good at rook and pawn endings. That's the lesson that I've learned.
And Haruka just won her game, of course.
Yes.
And we see Mamedov blitzing really fast, and he has time to shuffle that piece in his hand.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Look at that. We have all the results, I think.
No, we're still waiting for this game to finish, and I think it probably will be a draw.
I think Mamedov is actually
because
losing.
You can go king a1 and king b, and then
King a1, rook f1 check. Just give up that rook.
you give up the rook, yes.
And 2 pawns are winning.
Yes, rook f6.
Yeah,
is
Mamedov
very good.
actually
But you can
overpressed.
probably go rook c7.
Rook f2 wins.
Ah, yeah. And then can go rook c2.
Rook f1 also. But now rook c7, rook f2. He has to play rook f2. King
Yeah.
h5, rook c1, rook f2. Okay, that
so
wins
what's
as well.
happening? So
Rook b1.
my live feed is not.
You know what they're trying to do? Black is trying to get his to win a tempo, to get his king closer to the pawns on the king side. And now king h7, g6, g7 wins, and study.
That's it.
It's a famous study, and White wins the game.
Yeah, and Mamedov resigns.
And Mamedov resigns in
And
a
there we
completely
have
winning
it.
position. He
Yeah.
had absolutely winning rook endgame, and now he resigns on
Well-
seconds. Wow.
Well, know your endings. That's the moral of
Know
the
your
story.
endings, exactly.
And be able to play them quickly.
And that was the first round of the double rounds,
That was round 17.
which leaves us with 5 more rounds to go. And
5 rounds,
unfortunately, Jones Gawain, he lost the game
Yes.
to Vidit.
We wished him good luck, and
We wish him good luck, and somehow it doesn't work.
somehow it doesn't work. Okay,
So we'll return.
we will see you after the break. And welcome back to round 18. So we are awaiting all the action to begin. And once again, we will be focusing on top board. Bu Jiangji against Lenia Dominguez and Wang Hao against Richard Rapport. And then we'll also have a look at Elizabeth Pates against Kostenyuk. Of course, Elizabeth had that disaster in the previous round where she just blundered her queen for nothing, really.
Yep.
And such accidents happen, but hopefully, well, for her
But
sake,
not quite often, yeah.
Yeah, for her sake, we hope that she recovers. And we also have an interesting matchup in Abdulmalik against Hampi Canary.
And we have a great guest with us
We
today.
do have a guest with us, yes. And yes, please come join us. We have former Women's World Champion, Ji Jun. So have you found the action so far?
Yeah, we just analyzed some games for the Chinese media.
Yes. But this time...
Hello.
Sorry.
And we are live, but we also have a nice opportunity to have a group photo.
Yes.
Okay.
And what are your thoughts on this tournament so far?
Well, I like it, and it's first time to have this kind of tournament. Not many players, but somehow they're all the best. Yeah.
Of course.
Yes. And what do you think of this time control, this 3 minutes plus 2 seconds?
Well, I just said to Wang Yue, okay, I retired already. I mean, not play for the top level, but when I saw them play, I said, well, I can play as well. Something like that, but somehow, it just many mistakes, but somehow that's
Yes,
Blitz.
that's the beauty of it.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
human
yeah.
and they show.
Yeah.
And any favorite game so far?
Well, I like the way they play. I must say it this way, but the quality, I mean, is Blitz.
Is there a
Yes.
particular player you're rooting for? Do you like some players?
Of course, Chinese players.
Chinese players,
course.
yes, of course.
Yeah.
But among Chinese players, who is your, who do you think is going to have the best chance to win?
Well, actually, this bull, I mean, when he was a boy, he
Yeah.
was really very smart, and I like the way he played the Blitz and also, all these, the tricks.
Yes.
But somehow, I didn't follow the men's, I mean, the score, how good he is now.
He is,
He has 10.5 points, so he's in the lead.
he's in the
Aha.
lead.
He's in the lead.
See, I even didn't
bottom
know that.
seed and now in the lead.
See?
It's we like those fairy
Yeah.
tale
And
stories.
among the Chinese women, who do you think has the best chance to score in the?
Well, we just followed some games by Lei Tingjie,
Uh-huh.
and she played so far was not so bad. The first day she didn't play so well, but this afternoon she played quite good. Also, I should say she was quite lucky.
Yeah, a
Yes.
lot of players are very
No.
lucky.
Yes.
And unlucky also. Yeah, make blunders. Yeah. Rapid game, of course, have high quality because they have more time, but Blitz is more exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blitz is more exciting. Have you played in these events before?
Well, in our time, oh no, I should say not our time. You're still young, but in my time, put
Yeah.
this way, I don't remember they have this kind of tournament. It's pity.
Uh-huh.
Am I too old to coming back?
No,
No, come
come
on.
back.
No.
Come back. And what do you think of this position so far? So you
So
have-
far,
Yeah, we are focusing on the top boards, and the top board is
It's,
Bull
Bougie.
versus Dominguez.
yes.
yeah.
And it seems Dominguez nice in the Richard's game. In the second board, it's very solid chess, and I think Richard just decided to play
Yeah.
solid chess
Oh,
after his
wow,
loss
wow,
to
wow.
Grandmaster
Wang Yue.
Wang Yu.
Wang Yu.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I remember we played so many games. in
Yes,
the past,
yes.
yes. And now,
In Beijing and Huai'an.
yes, in the Grand Prix also a long time ago. Yeah.
I do believe he's one of the best player in the world for endgame.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay, he's strong in all level, but I mean, especially endgame.
Then,
I don't want to
And
play
those are very
endgame
important.
against him.
Those are the basics.
Rick-
We have seen some
Rick
players.
We've seen so many Rickenporn endings.
Like, have you seen the last round where Mamedov he couldn't convert the rook advantage in the rook end game, and then he even lost the game.
这个 game
啊
北盘棋我没有
Yes.
看到。
It's okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the... Speaking of the end games, what do you think of the second board position? Of
So we
Wang Hao
actually have a
versus
result where
board?
Wang Hao and Richard Rapport ended in a draw.
in a draw.
Yes.
So why don't we go back to women section, first game?
Yeah.
Well, women games, everything can happen.
It's very fighting.
Yeah,
it's fighting.
exciting.
Fighting chess.
The Sicilian Najdorf, yeah?
Nadal.
Yeah.
I remember when I played some games, I mean, when some journalist asking my coach about the game to get some comments about the game, he always say, well, it's very interesting.
Very nice, neutral comment there.
Yeah.
Yes.
D5.
After
Good
just
idea.
D5, Black
D5,
is,
good idea.
he could be better, maybe.
Yeah.
But she could be better, yeah.
Everything coming out, yeah.
Because White now has to take on D5, and then how do you capture? Do you capture with the knight or with the bishop?
Yes.
She's taken back with the knight.
With the knight.
Of course with knight.
So you keep the knights on board, because I like White's bishop on G2. It's still very aggressive. So I think maybe bishop takes on D5, yeah? But
B4.
okay. Knight takes
She's
D5,
played
and
B4,
now...
yes.
Safe D5.
Yeah, and now you won't take on E3 and take on A5, right? B4, but B4 is very strange. It doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right.
The idea
Take
was
and the bishop C4.
C4, right? Yeah.
Take on
Take.
E3, take on
Take on
Close
E3,
that, yeah, then
and then
bishop
and
bishop.
bishop C4.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
that sounds
Easy,
And
easy,
no,
easy,
she's
simple.
actually chose
knight F6.
knight F6.
And she allows knight C5.
Yes.
See, that's how
That's
play.
how
Like, you give a
interesting.
space, you jump in the space. Yeah. So that is not
Yes, we have-
prophylaxis. And we have very exciting board on the second board. We have
C4, yes.
Abdumalik versus Canero, and this looks like something. Everything is hanging. F7, F5, E4, Rook D7, and also on F2,
What's
and
happened?
Bishop
What's
F7.
It's crazy.
What's happening?
Everything is. It's difficult to look at the queen is. Okay, we have bishop takes F7, king
What's
F8.
happened? Okay.
King F8, just holding tension, just
Yeah.
not taking anything.
And Humpy actually needs to win because she lost her first game.
And now Bishop E6, Rook D5, just take on F5, and that knight is hanging, and then knight G4.
Yeah, Humpy
Knight
is.
G5 is coming, Rook D, knight
It's a winning
F6.
position.
Yeah.
It's a
Ooh.
winning position.
Humpy, I think, will
Just take
lose
on
again.
F5, take on F6, take on D5, yeah?
And she
Yes.
has, yeah, the king is out there
It's
on
completely
F6.
winning.
And she also has only 5 seconds. It's very difficult to play chess with.
What
such
happened in her first
5
game?
seconds. She lost.
She lost.
She lost. She
Oh,
lost
so
on
she's
time.
losing 2-0.
She's lost in 2-2,
Oh, so our leader just
And,
lost
and,
2-0,
uh,
and she is
which means Kosteniuk is
she's
in the
out
lead.
of the fight for the first place
Yeah.
now.
Well,
Check. Yes.
That's
Lost the
it.
queen. Lost
That's
the
it.
queen. Yes.
and
Okay,
yeah.
and the game is over. And then Kosteniuk games, she is pressing, she has an advantage. Would you say it's a large advantage? Would you say it's a large advantage for White?
This way?
Yes,
Okay. Of course, but have a great
great advantage, yeah. With the
I think King F1 is better.
okay.
So the king goes to E3,
Yes, yes.
and then Black brings the king to E5. Do you go? Yeah. Do you go for
Take,
B5? Do you think B5 is correct?
Fine.
Take bishop D5, and now
Oh, she's
take
gone for
bishop
B5.
D5, yes.
Yeah.
B6 and A6 maybe, or A6 immediately. Knight D7 is probably good.
Yeah.
And knight A4, yeah. Knight C3. I like that knight transfer. Hits the bishop.
Knight C3, yeah.
I see, fine. Yeah.
And they are down to the seconds.
This is the bit that is very stressful to watch.
Knight B8. Look at that move. Knight B8. Interesting. I like that. Knight B8.
把你出王啊 I said the white king is right in the home.
Yeah.
Yeah, the king is too far.
The
Yes.
king needs to get going.
She started all this action without preparation.
Yeah.
Like in Sun Tzu, you need the preparation before you start something.
Complicated.
Trying to be, sounds very smart, but probably didn't come out right. Okay.
Shall we take a look at the top board and then
The top board is still in progress, and
G2, yes, good idea.
let's have a look at.
seems to be like a draw. Wait, isn't that Black is piece down?
Yeah.
Then he's completely lost. 1-0.
So this is looking great for Bu.
Yeah, he just won and he extends his lead.
He extends his lead.
See,
Yeah.
that's
So
why
you're
I
correct.
like-
He's
That's why I like him.
Yes.
I even didn't see the game. I said I like him.
Yes. Well, you know, you're preaching to the choir because Gata is a big fan of Bu.
I like
Big-
this
he's-
game a lot, you know.
Yes.
'Cause he can play both positional and tactical chess.
Yes.
Clearly.
It just goes quickly.
怎么就赢了？
Yeah.
And
Well-
we have some games in progress, maybe. Yeah, we have Kostyanyuk. She is still playing Elizabeth Bats, but I think Elizabeth is now starting to play for an advantage, maybe. No, she's
Really?
securing a draw. And Bishop b5 check, and suddenly where to go? No,
Yeah,
she's
looks
just going
like-
for a draw. Because
20 seconds left.
because
on the
black
clock.
needs
She has
to,
two.
if she wants to play for a win, she needs to go with her king to a5, and it's not so easy.
King d4, king c5.
Well, now she's trying. Now,
A6.
Now knight's come to d3.
No, king g3, and white is better again, because that knight, yeah, but knight b2. Knight takes c4.
Take, check.
Check, right? So she has to take, and now king d6 has to be played,
It's
Yes.
forced.
and it's just bad after knight f5 check, yeah?
And Lizzie has to make the
Yes.
move. 5 seconds. What?
But this is bad after b7.
What?
Yeah,
She just.
she just lost a piece,
She
and
just lost a
Kostyanyuk
piece.
extends her lead as well.
Yep. So that means Kostyanyuk has actually started the day with 6 points out of 6.
6 points out of
So
6,
this
yeah.
is great news. But okay, I mean, there is no, there's no
It's
hope.
easy.
There's
Yeah,
no
Kostyanyuk
hope.
is on fire, and Lizzie, this is not her tournament.
No.
Although Kostyanyuk still has, she
Bishop e2.
still
Yeah.
has some problems to convert.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so simple. Not so simple.
Ah,
What?
Now it's simple.
Now it's very simple.
Now it's very simple.
Now it's very
very
simple.
interesting.
Yeah, this is. Well, we have to watch and see.
Yeah, let's
Kostyanyuk's
watch
technique.
it for instructive purposes, and Kostyanyuk, she just sit, compose herself, and continues.
I do believe that she knew how to win, right? This,
Yes, I do
Yeah,
believe
Knight
it
and
so.
bishop.
it's quite simple once you know the patterns.
no, but neither can come to that.
Yeah, but
that corner,
Elizabeth should have played king a4, of course, and after king... She just helps, yeah? She just goes into the corner.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
so
now she's going to set
it's
up
a,
the
it's wrong
pattern.
corner. Yeah, now it's a setup.
Yes.
It's a
Now
knight
here it
e4.
is. And that's it. The king goes up, but then there's the
Oh, but
box.
Kostyanyuk
This is
messed
the
up.
box. This is the box.
Yes.
No, this is the box.
This is the books.
Box, yeah.
Yes, good, good.
And 96,
96.
96 of
No,
course.
the knight does the W,
Yeah.
and it only does.
Knight b7, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
The easy work.
And then the bishop, yeah.
Bishop is simple like this.
Okay, now she has time to think. Okay, and it's bishop, knight check, and
Very nice game.
And that's
yeah,
it.
that was it. Okay, Kostyanyuk knows your own games.
Yeah.
She said what?
What did she say?
What is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I would love to know what she says, you know. But look at her face expression.
It was quite sweet, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think she said something in Russian also because she speaks Russian, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does.
So
Okay, and that was the last game of
that
the,
was the last
round.
game of the day.
Was it the last game of
No,
the
no, not the
double
day.
round? No, it's
Yeah.
the first game.
No,
It's the first game.
last
First.
game of the double round, yeah. So it's the last game of the match.
Oh, last game of the match. So the match is over, yeah?
Yeah.
So we
So
have two more games. Two more matches.
We have 2 more matches.
Four
yeah.
more games.
4 more games.
So there's still a lot that can be happening.
Things
But
can
Kostyanyuk,
change.
6 out of 6 is very impressive.
6 out of 6, and I'd like to give a big thank you to
our guest.
our distinguished guest.
Thank you.
Hengshui.
Thank you.
And you come back to your work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And we are back for round 19. And wow, another dramatic round. And I also have to give really special thanks to our guests who came and helped us commentate, because for me, Xu Jung, it was a legend.
Yes.
I grew up following her games. And kind of recapping on the leaderboard, and in the men's section we have Bu Jiangji, and he has 12 points, 1 point lead over Richard Rapport and Dmitry Andreikin. So 1 point lead is starting to become a little bit more significant. In the women's section we have Alexandra Kostenik. Now she had a fantastic match against Elizabeth Pate, and she is now on 13 points. Again, another 1 point lead over Lei Tingjie of China, who has 12 points, and Tan Zhongyi and Humpy Connery have 11. So Humpy Connery really had a bad match there against Abdulmalik, losing 2-0.
But Kostyniuk is 6 out of 6 is
very
simply
professional,
incredible.
Very professional.
Of course, it's very nice to see Andreikin moving up the standings. He is on the 3rd place now.
And he is top seed.
Yeah.
He is top seed for the Blitz. And
we see the players now getting ready, and we see actually a very interesting match coming up between Irina Krush and Kostyniuk Alexandra, because they are long-time rivals, and it's the USA versus Russia, which is traditionally very, very fierce match.
Yes, and let's have a look at Fedoseev against Bu Jiangji, and well, we have a
Slav with
Queen
G3,
B3
Queen
Slav,
B3.
yeah.
Okay, things are going slowly at the moment.
Very slow. Okay, that gives us opportunity to move down to Peter Leko against Dmitry Andreikin.
And likewise, it's a Berlin.
It's a Berlin, and we move swiftly down towards the women, and we go to
And it's going to be
Irina
a fighting
Krush
Nimzo,
against
because it
Alexandra
is
Kostenik.
knight e2 and a3, and Irina plays the system. She knows it really well.
She does.
And this is going to be a really interesting match. And moving further, we see a repeat of the King's Indian by Abdulmalik Jansayan.
Yes.
She just defeated Humpy, I think.
Humpy in this fianchetto.
In the system, yeah. And
But,
she goes for the same, e4.
No, but this time she's gone B3.
Yeah, but White also played b3, but then she plays e4 and bishop b2.
Okay, so
right.
both of them have gone B4. Okay.
Right, but White plays e3 and allows e4.
She plays E3 and allows it. Okay.
But yeah, because but can you play e4? Probably
You
not
can
here.
play.
Because knight d2, d5, take on d5, take on d5. But no, she just goes a5. Shansai is just playing solid chess as well. But after bishop a3, black has a problem. Now she has to face d takes e5
Yeah, bishop
threat.
A3 is a...
It's a very strong
Yeah.
choice by White, and I think Abdulmalik is in small trouble here. She probably has to take on d4 and play
And
knight
she
c5,
has.
yeah, which leaves White with certain advantage.
Okay, moving
Going back to
to
the men's board, we see White fully develop his pieces. He has the center, which Black tries to stop with knight e4. Again, a traditional...
they're very thematic to
very
go knight
thematic
e4
move.
because you don't allow e4.
And queen a2 is not exactly the White's
No.
perfect idea of having developed.
No, normally you'd go e3,
And queen goes to e2, exactly.
Queen goes to e2, yes. So.
And I think Black has a very comfortable game after rook fd8, and
And,
especially after bishop
bishop
e3,
e3.
doesn't belong there at all. The bishop belongs...
Perhaps he's offering a draw. Because you have to remember the players are not allowed to offer draws.
Yeah, but Bull is leading the
queen c.
tournament, and if Fedoseev is looking to improve his standings, he has to play for a win.
Exactly. He has to play for a win.
He has to play for a win, but that's not the way how you play for a win. And Leko's game, he is, I would say, about completely equal.
Yes, very symmetrical.
Black can just play bishop f5, and I don't see... okay, he plays rook e8, being very solid. But now he cannot play bishop f5 because that rook on e8 will be hanging. So he's just waiting and see. That wait and see approach might work. And returning to women, we have Irina Krush planting that knight on c6. She has an extra... No, she doesn't have an extra pawn. No, she actually has an extra pawn. She has a strong control over center, but she is in danger of overextending her pieces, although at this point I don't see how Black can do that. Irina is also preparing to play e4, e5, followed by bishop b2, rook a, e1, just throw her pieces in the center and try to dominate the position. And I'm extremely curious to see. And I think Abdulmalik Jansaia just managed to improve your position big time, because I see White's bishop on a3 completely blocked by Black's c5 pawn, while the rook on a6 is doing a great job protecting the knight on b6, and at the same time hitting potentially White's weak a2 pawn.
Yeah, this bishop on a3 is misplaced.
Yeah, it's misplaced. I think that Black is she's got an absolutely fine position now. In fact, she might be slightly better. because simple plan, like knight a4 exchange knight at some point, then add the pressure on the a file, activate the rook, knight goes to e4, and white's bishop on g2 is not exactly what you're looking to get. And back to the Fedorsev versus Bujianzi game.
Do we have any action?
We have bishop e3 and knight d3, and white blunders because bishop f1 is being met by knight takes c1, and
So
white blunders in exchange, and Bu extends the lead. And wow,
Bishop f1.
and that is, if you're looking to
Yes.
make a draw, that's definitely not the way to
do
play.
it.
White is just pure down in exchange, and I think Chinese player is perfectly poised to just run away with the lead in this tournament because there are only 4 games left.
Yeah, I mean, we actually have to say the players have played in a staggering amount of chess. Maybe this is just tiredness creeping in, because it's a bit, it's quite
too much. Yeah.
too much, you know.
So much
that's
action.
Quite
Everything depends on your
and
nerves.
we actually have a result. Peter Lecker and Dmitry, and that finished in a draw.
Very professional
Very
draw.
professional, and that means we can move down to Ponomarev against Rapport, and
we haven't looked at Richard Rapport's games ever since he's lost to Boris Gelfand, but
he hasn't made it back to the top boards.
I think he is he's facing an unpleasant task with trying to defend his
D6 pawn.
inferior position against Ponomarev, who is considered to be world best specialist at squeezing wins with such small advantages.
Okay, I'm moving to Irina Krosh and Alexandra Kostenyuk because
I like Kostenyuk's position now because she is creating a lot of tactical and unpleasant ideas for white. Although bishop d4 was a great move, but black has this idea with knight g4, f5. There is a knight takes
maybe
d5.
Even rook takes e2.
What about knight takes d5 right now?
Yeah,
because the knight on e2 is hanging.
Actually,
yeah, black just
I was trying to do it in a different way. Knight
pawn.
takes d5 is very good.
e5, rook takes e2, and if bishop f2, then queen just moves to h6 maybe.
Moves
even.
somewhere because there's 2 rooks. So yeah,
and that pawn on f4 is
bit of
hanging.
a tactical over.
So
hang wait, well no, still.
So that's the danger when you have so many pieces grouped together. There is a huge chance of missing some tactics. Even now, knight takes d5 works because queen takes d5, rook takes e2.
Yes.
Right. So I think black has fantastic
And
position.
she
just
bishop
gave
takes
up her
knight.
bishop and plays rook e8, trying to go for rook
a3.
a3, activate that rook. And I don't know.
A lot of pressure.
But what about queen g3? What about queen g3 trying to push that queen major piece away from action?
And then queen g3 and then capture back with the knight. Because
exactly.
I would like
and
to
then queen h5 then
h3.
bishop f3. You just
and queen g3
and she
played.
finds the queen g3 and black has to take, and now white is a pawn up, but black activates her knight. But again, now we have the endgame where white is just 2 pawns up. No, 1 pawn up.
1 pawn up.
Which is extremely important, b5 pawn, and but knight e3. What are you going to do on knight e3? So now you have to
she has to
take and play
she's
rook
missed
g1.
this,
And but now the tables are turned, and bishop d4, of course, and the white is facing extremely unpleasant task of trying to defend
Just
this position.
quickly.
Wow. Okay, we're going to the second board game, and we see things are turning around again because I like white's position now.
White's position is great now because now you have the open unsafe king.
Knight on a4 looks really bad. Bishop on a1 is now exchanging dark
squares.
Right, and black king looks very vulnerable.
Very vulnerable.
Once white queen joins the attack, just put it on g3 somewhere, and it's a big problem for black. Going back to the first board, Fedorsev versus Bulchanki, we have some action here.
Definitely action because there's a white pawn on
Wow.
f7
and the pins all over the place, and I think Chinese player just managed to mix things up a little bit. He is still better. He's still better, but it is no longer given.
Okay, let's stick with this game because it's incredibly messy. Queen goes to e6.
I don't know what is the purpose of that queen, because after rook c4 is just completely winning. I think Fedorsev misses a lot of tactics. He is missing a lot of tactics. Queen c4, rook takes d1, bishop takes f2, and he is lost because he is simply done rook.
He's on
no
7
compensation,
seconds,
and after bishop f2 there is the threat of rook g1 and queen e3 mate, and there is no defense.
Takes f2.
Rook g2 is even more professional because rook takes on f2 and queen d8. Just no chance at all. No chance, and white can just resign because
rook takes f7.
Nothing works.
Oh, get your pieces set up in time. Yep.
With the seconds on the clock, the grandmasters are trying to create something, but
well, now it's a question
black
of
has
nerves.
a full rook.
That's it, and now
And
queen takes h4.
and there is nothing for white to play for, and he's
king
giving
goes
last
to
check,
G7,
and he can
that's
resign,
it.
and
That's
he is
it.
resigning.
And Bu Zhangji has won, where he extends his lead even further, because remember, he's 1 point ahead.
And Irina Krush is winning the game because black just blundered the whole rook and white has a queen.
Okay, wait.
And Irina managing to play her best chess right when it was needed, and she inflicted a painful first defeat on the leader of the tournament, Kastyanyuk,
so this
throwing the tournament in the
air, because let's have a look, because Lei Jie is trailing her by 1 point, 1 point, and if she manages to win, then she will
she
catch
has the
up
two pieces
Kastyanyuk.
for the rook and some attacking chances. I would say she has absolutely great
well, the two
and
pieces
queen
are
A1
fantastic.
and queen A7 check is incoming, and Abdulmalik is
Queen A7
just
check,
worse. She is worse, and white has a huge chance now to catch up with the
She's
leader.
going to win the D.
She's going to win the D6 pawn. She can take it right now,
and she has.
And queen F6 check is
Queen
coming.
F6 is
And rook on B4 is completely cut off, and knight F6.
And those two extra knights are just simply going to be.
And that rook on B4 is so outside of the game. D7,
D7,
king G3, bishop goes somewhere, B5, black is trying, but knight D6 just wins the game now. Knight D6 and its deflection, 95 check is also wins the game.
96
check.
and 96 played.
Knight takes C5, and the rook D4 is probably played, and now knight E4 back, and it is not clear anymore. White missed several tactical opportunities to immediately stop the game, and now black is back, because if she can win that D7 pawn, she is back in business, and white has to play bishop F3, bishop G4, try to keep that D7 pawn alive.
And she's doing that.
And she is doing that, and we are facing a titanic struggle here. Absolutely titanic struggle.
Yes,
white
king goes to F4. She's trying to march up the board, but she needs to be careful, because I suspect that...
I see no plan by white, because she just blundered the bishop on F5, and there's 95 check, and rook takes F5.
She's threatening her queen. She's threatening to queen.
Oh, she's so lucky there.
Yeah, she's threatening to queen. But now we have a
absolutely nightmarish endgame.
Yeah, nightmare.
Because if black gives up her rook for H4 pawn, we are facing two knights versus the pawn, which is oh my god.
It depends on whether the pawn has crossed the river, so to speak.
Yeah.
This is the
you know that endgame.
No, I just know the theory.
There is a river.
It's
called Troitsky line. That's okay.
Okay. The Troitsky line. No, I didn't know that.
And let's go back quickly to the Gunina versus Tang Jui. And Gunina is trying to win, and queen G6, and what is going on? Rook F6.
Rook H.
Shouldn't white just go for A5 pawn and just?
I thought maybe
she is going for that, and she finds the way, and it's probably technically one position by white, because that pawn is extremely difficult to stop.
But how is it if I sacrifice the bishop for that A7 pawn, and then I'm left with the G7 pawn?
It's difficult to sack the bishop there, because the queen always. But now, you're right. And now with the G7,
now I can go bishop C5.
Now just
bishop C5.
Just put the bishop there, rook on H6, and rook on F6.
Rook F6.
Yeah, but the king is on A7. The king is on 7. If the king was on below the 6th rank, then it will be a draw. But now.
And now bishop
we are
takes
facing two nightmarish endgames here. We are facing two knights.
And now rook F6,
versus
and
the pawn.
now what happens now? There's no way that she can.
And just the king moves.
And then the king moves. And this is just a draw.
If black king doesn't have a move, like king E7, then rook has to move. Rook H6. You can still play rook H6 and rook F6 back. Because if the king comes, rook F6 check. So it is a fortress.
I think it is a fortress.
And in late NG, she gave up her pawn, and now it is a clear draw, because two knights cannot mate by themselves, even if black did not have the rook and a pawn.
Okay,
so we're looking at the draw, and late in G missed her huge chance to.
She missed it.
But knight H3. Why she take this pawn? She didn't. It's a draw.
Now she can go H4 and then.
Yeah, but she should have played knight H3, and then she has this huge chance of winning the game. Yes. It's amazing.
We've had some endings be,
now we're looking at the game between Jones Gawain and Le Quang Lim, and Jones Gawain is now actually on the defensive side of this endgame. Last night he had
had the extra knight,
and he actually drew Chaparinov after a huge adventure.
A huge adventure, which involved. We actually found out a new rule that after 75 moves of no progress, the arbiter should step in and declare the game drawn. I never knew this rule at all. I thought that there was...
And he just came into big trouble because knight c5 is so tricky. King e8 is the only move.
King e8 is the only move,
And
yes.
then he is facing possibly knight e6, but then king d7 back. So king e8 is the only move,
Yeah.
and he has to find it.
Which is, when he's forced to find it.
He's forced to find it.
He
has to find
will
it.
mind it.
Otherwise, he's just...
Yeah, well, otherwise there's either an unpleasant discovered or a knight b7 fork.
Knight b3.
Oh, and even knight b7, you can go king d6.
No, knight b7, knight a5, and
No,
the rook is protected.
the rook is protected.
Yeah. And that's about all. We have result games in Ponomarev. He just inflicted defeat on Rapport, and Mamedov lost to Korbov, while Dominguez beat Yu Yang Yu. And in the women's section, we have Konero Hampi actually beating Ushenina.
She beat Ushenina, and Valentina Gunina is still playing against Hanlon.
While Harika lost to Muzichuk Maria.
Yeah, and Elizabeth Pates also lost her third consecutive game.
And we have just one game remaining, which is Gawain Jones, and
We have actually Gunina is still playing.
And Gunina is still playing.
No, that's been agreed a draw.
Yeah, but Gawain Jones, he is thinking. What is he has time to think? Does he have time to think? What was he thinking?
No, I think they've called the arbiter.
Oh, he probably called the arbiter. How many moves was that with rook and knight?
Okay, so they played 112. Okay, so
when was the pawn last taken?
So let's have a look.
69 move, right? Black's pawn on c3.
Okay, so king.
Okay,
so
73 moves plus 50.
50 is 100 and.
He just needs one more move.
No, it's 112, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but 50, it's 100.
Yeah.
He needs 120.
20.
Yes, so, but he's saving time by trying to claim a draw.
Yeah.
He now has
he
time to think about the position while the arbiters...
Exactly, and he just...
It's nice trick. Yeah, but if his claim is found to be wrong, then his opponent is added time.
He has added time, but I think in this position it doesn't.
Doesn't matter because...
It doesn't matter as such.
I think he'll figure out that...
And also they'll tell him, actually you need to play 10 more moves.
Oh, really?
I think so. They'll say no.
That's a nice trick. You find out exactly how many moves you need to play.
I think they'll tell him. I'm not really sure whether they will. But knowing arbiters these...
After last night's experience, he's now a veteran.
He is a veteran in the rook.
Yeah,
and they're still... hang on. They are... King e8.
Oh, he just lost.
No?
Yeah, knight f6 check and rook f7 mate. And he's not in time.
Oh, what's he doing with his king in the corner?
But how did he get his king in the corner? After king e8, what happened?
So after king e8, so it was...
knight c5 check, king e8, 113.
It was 113.
Mm-hmm.
And then rook came to e4.
Knight d7.
Yeah.
And king g6. And rook on a5 is extremely badly placed. And rook e7.
And he needed how many moves? He needed 123.
And he lost.
Hang on. Hang on, he might not have... It might have been...
No. He's not in time. He needed 102.
Well, but I haven't got how many games there are. He might just have done it.
It says 118.
118. Oh, well, that's it. Nope.
So so the arbiters are forced to do the count twice.
Yeah. So I mean, I claim that this ending was very easy to draw, but we've seen. Well, we've actually seen that it can be spoiled.
Yeah. Wow. I got to take a look at these end games as well because the last 10 moves seem to be very forced.
Exactly.
Very forced. So the note for our viewers is not to put your rooks on squares, on suspect squares like a5, a4. Always put them in the huge corners
far away from the king.
With a big range of options.
Yes.
Because a4 and a5, the knight is a very tricky thing. It can catch them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you keep the king and the rook separate.
Yeah. All those ricochet knight moves. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think once he went king e8, it looked like it was game over there.
Yeah, but after rook e4 check and then king cannot go to d8 and it's game over. Yeah.
So
that was it for this round.
And we will take a short break, and then we're going to be ready for all the action of round 20. I think
the final.
No,
round.
It's not 20. No, 19. Hang on, 20. I think it's 20.
This was round 20. So we only left with one round, I think.
No, this is 19.
2 games left.
19, so there's 20. So 3 games left.
This is 19?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So now 20.
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot of games.
Okay, so 3 more games left, and...
we'll see you after the break.
Thank you.
and welcome to round 20 of the IMSA World Masters Championship. 3 rounds left, everything to play for. And just to recap on the leaderboard, at the men's section, we have Bu Zhangji in the lead. No, he's not. Yes, in the lead with 12 points. I was really looking at the seed and I thought, oh, that's a change. And he's on 12 points, and 1 point behind him are Andreikin and Richard Rapport. They are on 11 points, so still pretty close. And in the women's section, it is still Kostenyuk who is in the lead. She has 13 points, 1 point ahead of Lei Tingjie, but also a new name has come up, Irina Krush. Irina Krush is on 12 points as well.
Yes.
And trailing those are Tang Zhongyi and Humpy Konoru, and they are on 11 points.
And of course I'm rooting for Irina because she's a fellow American, and I have known her for many, many years.
Yes.
So this is, again, this match against Kostenyuk is very personal.
It is, and we will keep a close eye on it. And let's have a quick look at Bu Zhangji against Fedoseev.
Another solid game by Bu Zhangji.
Very solid.
And Andreikin versus Leko, Reti.
We have a Queen's Gambit declined.
And Rapport's playing b3 against Ponomaryov. Sorry, just taking off the topic.
Okay, and let's go down to the crunch game, which is Kostenyuk against Irina Krush.
And of course, Krush also plays Rouser, just like in her game against Gunina. Kostenyuk is facing Rouser, but she declined to take on f6 and she plays bishop e3. So the game now becomes a dragon. While the second board game between Abdumalik and Lei Tingjie, what is this?
This looks like a Caro-Kann.
And we have a Caro-Kann specialist right next to me. So tell us what is going on.
Well, bishop d3 is very unusual. I would consider it not troubling at all. And just get c5, c3, knight c6. I don't see the big problem. But Abdumalik has actually been struggling against the Caro-Kann. So I think this is just her way just to...
And we're looking at them at live, and we see... Look at how they're so similar in a way,
Yeah.
They're just both looking like sphinxes. Like, you can read absolutely nothing. Yeah. Abdumalik is shuffling her piece in the left hand, though.
But really, black has got no problem. I mean, really.
And
I mean, the only issue is the king side, but that's about it.
Yes, but Abdumalik has so many years ahead of her, and she's already playing this level, so we're looking potentially at the future challenger for the World Women's Championship.
Yes, of course.
So, going back to the men's board,
we are seeing... Do we have fireworks in the Queen's Gambit declined?
It's Queen's Gambit. It has its reputation for its being super solid, drawish opening, and I think it just confirms it.
There's that famous line by
very little to play for.
Spassky,
and but Bu is very smart because Fedoseev has this huge tendency to relax and blunder some tactics or to overpress. And in this case, actually, bishop e4, bishop e4 and rook takes d4. Probably
okay, can we move down to Andreikin against Leko?
Andreikin versus Leko. White developed comfortably. His bishop is on the both diagonals. Knight e4 is the fighting move, trying to provoke black into playing f5, opening his bishop on b2, but there is no progress. I don't see any progress. But white goes queen d4. Of course, he is now ready to put his rook on the central files and creates a direct mating threat against the black king, forcing black to play either knight 7 f6, which will open white's knight f3 ability to go to e5, or play knight 5 f6. But in this case,
that's too passive, I think. Knight 7 f6.
Knight d6 is a certain possibility now.
He's actually played knight 5.
Knight d6 is possible. Although after bishop d5 there is no follow-up. But if you take on f6 and bishop f6, so I think black is fine.
Knight d6?
Knight d6, bishop d5, And
bishop d5 and then...
white knight has to go back and lose time. So going back to women's board, we see some incredible action, and Kostenyuk is just going all in. She wants to crush her opponent, no pun intended, and she goes for f5, and we are going to see some bloody battle here. I think white is just better because Irina is not really that familiar with the dragon structure, so that was...
But every Sicilian player is taught, as long as you get a knight on e5, you can defend anything.
Yes, but here knight e5, white has a serious threat of f6 and just queen on h4 and knight e7 go for mate.
Yes, I agree.
When you're playing Blitz, this attack is extremely difficult too, very dangerous.
And so she reacts with...
So Abdumalik, she just went e6 and she just gave up the bishop, but she has the knight on e5, even though she's faced with the structure. The structure is so interesting. That the dark squared bishop, that could be a key thing in this game.
As long as you,
But white
With-
has no attack.
Well, no
No attack anymore.
No attack,
Yeah.
with that knight on e5, as long as you keep it there, don't go
Right.
exploring.
So maybe
greener
black
pastures.
just created maybe black did a good thing
Yes.
in her mind. Abdulmalik versus Leiting G. We
Yeah.
have a white knight on d6. That means rook goes to b1, ready to infiltrate to b7. The other is ready to go to c1. And then what? The question is how
Yeah,
was
this
queen
has gone.
c3, queen
This
c3.
has gone wrong.
This is so interesting. But if 97, then
97 played.
97 played, and I suspect that black wants to take on e5 and d5, queen takes d6, so knight b7 has to be
Knight
played.
b7 has been played, yeah.
Yes, and now the queen has to go somewhere. If queen d7, then knight c5. And if queen e8, probably queen e8, yeah, just
if I go-
attacking that pawn on a4
yeah,
and
queen
protecting
e8.
e6 asset.
Yeah, queen e8 I like.
Queen e8 is
And queen
perfect
e8
grandmaster
played.
move. Let's go back to Bu Xianji, and Fedoseev is pressing a little bit small pool that we like to talk about with my colleague here, and the threat is e4 obvious, but the main thing is that black has control of the c file, and he has a nice queen and knight pair versus white's
Yeah.
queen and bishop. Especially the bishop here is not that great.
Well, he's played bishop d5.
Bishop d5 is a great move.
That's a great move. I think it forces the trade because then I will perhaps play e4.
Or black is forced to play rook c5, which and black is down on time. He's 20 seconds compared to Bu's 1 minute and 44 seconds. And Bu is a not just being very solid, but he also plays very fast
He's
and very
actually
correct chess, and he is not missing tactics, which is extremely important.
Well, now he's chosen an aggressive move. He's
And
going rook
Fedoseev
c1.
goes for rook c1, he goes all in again. He just sacrifices the pawn on b5, and
Yep,
of
and
course
Bu
white
takes
has to
it.
take.
Bu takes
And queen
it.
b3 and queen d6. Oh,
Queen-
that was a nice trick. But then e4, knight e4.
They have queen b7. No, it doesn't work. Queen
b7,
b3,
knight takes
a4.
d5.
Okay, queen a2.
Queen d1 now.
Queen d1, yeah, queen d1.
But knight takes d5, rook takes
Rook takes
d5,
d5,
queen b7, e4, and okay,
Now he's gone rook c1.
rook c1,
But then now I can go queen takes a4.
queen e2, queen a4. You just take another pawn.
Thank you.
And Fedoseev just blundered 2 pawns.
Again.
I think he blundered second pawn.
Now he's going to go rook a1 to go rook
Queen
queen
c6.
c1.
Queen c6.
Queen c queen c6 kills it.
Or bishop c6. Bishop c6 isn't better. She has completely opened the d file for the rook, closed off the c file, and black is Leko drawn.
Of course.
Very professional. Kostyanyuk is pressing Irina. Crush. She has 2 bishops and
just wait
an
until-
attack. And knight
He
e-
actually played rook d1 to neutralize. This is back to Bu's game.
That actually, that's the best
That's
move.
it.
That's the best move.
Neutralized.
Bu is about to win his second game, and Kostyanyuk is playing knight f1.
Okay, let's have a look.
And this is such a total mess, but she has 2 bishops and an extra pawn, I believe. No extra pawn, but 2 bishops and a great position. And the question is, but she created threat of bishop takes d5, so I think it's not so simple.
Not simple,
Queen
no.
f6 with the idea of queen f8, just very brutal mate in one move.
Okay, but knight
Knight
d7.
has to go to either f7 or has to go to d7. Personally, I think knight f7 maybe.
I would go.
But knight
Just-
d7 is more active, but after queen e6 check, king g7, bishop takes on d6, black is now in trouble because she is down the whole pawn and white has very
And
strong
there's-
pair of bishops.
Yeah, this bishop is not going to get going. She perhaps needs to go bishop a6, and Irina has played bishop a6.
Yeah, bishop e6 has been played. Yeah, you've been guessing amazing number of moves.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a good thing.
But now just take on e5 and play d6, and I don't see what black
And
going to do because Irina is low on time.
well, actually,
Queen e1, and queen a6, and Irina just blunders her
Just
whole
blunders the
bishop,
whole rook-
and
bishop, yeah.
she can resign because this position is just resignable.
that's it.
Bishop g3, queen d1, but now queen e6, anything actually
Yeah.
wins. She just blundered the whole bishop, and
Yeah.
she is not happy. And Kostyanyuk manages to
To win yet again.
win
so
the game, and
this means she will extend her lead. So now let's have a
Extend
look.
her lead.
Let's have a look.
Because
and,
Leiting
and,
G-
and Irina Krush was an important competitor.
yes, because Leiting G is. I don't think she's able to win this
No.
endgame because
Not that pawn on f7 is,
yeah, that pawn on f7 is very strong. King
It's-
goes to f3, then
And,
g4, take on e3, and it's going to be rook endgame. Oh, king
Well, we
knight
gotta-
d4
we
check.
gotta
What
head
about
for-
what is this knight d4 check? Knight f5 check. You just give her a pawn.
She did.
Knight h6 and king g7 has to be played. Rook
And knight takes
and knight
f7,
f7, and it's a
that's
draw. It's a draw, and Tang Junyi versus
knight takes
Kunina.
f7, draw.
Tang Junyi wins.
And in the top board, we have Bu Jiangji did win against Fedoseev.
So that was 2-0.
Yep, and Andreikin Leko, as we saw, draw. Richard Rapport against Ponomarev, draw. Anton Koborobov won. And let's go to the games that are continuing, and we have...
Oshena versus Hampi. And Abdulmalik versus Leiting G is a draw.
There's still a draw, yes.
And men all finished.
Okay, so Hampi is still in the running, still going.
Yeah, she has a better position. She's a pawn up, opposite color bishop endgame, and although it is very tricky.
But Tang Junyi did win. So
yeah, Tang Junyi wins.
Did win, so she's on 12 points to Kostyanyuk's 14. 2-point lead.
But there are only 2 games left. 2 games left. So that means Kostyanyuk almost guaranteed the first place.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yes, it means 2 games left.
And Ushenina, what's going on with Ushena? Ushena, is she playing? She's thinking. She has more time. She has an attack. She has extra pawn. And Hampi is not happy. She was leading the tournament until today, and today.
She had a very impressive 8.5, and then suddenly it just.
And today she just collapsed. To be honest.
Yeah, it was the turning point. Was the game against.
They're waiting for something.
Yes.
They're waiting for an arbiter. Was it threefold repetition?
Was it threefold repetition?
No, there was no repetition.
So what are they waiting for? Well, maybe they will.
Well, 55 move, yeah? Bishop e5, that's 1. Queen d7, bishop c3, queen g4. No, that's only second time repetition. So they're just waiting to confirm that it's only a twofold repetition,
there might
which
be
it
one
is,
earlier.
and they will continue the game. And this is the only game which is left. Other games have been finished. Rapport drew with Ponomarev, and while Korbov won second game, I think, against Mamedov.
And Vidit won.
And Vidit defeated Boris
As
Gelfand.
did Yu Yangyi,
While
he defeated Dominguez.
Gawain Jones lost to Le Quang Lim.
Yes. Okay, so he lost 2-0 to Le
Yeah,
Quang
he
Lim,
lost 2-0. Muzachuk lost to Harika, and Elizabeth Pats lost to Zhao Zhu.
Again, also 4 defeats in a row.
Unfortunately, we didn't have time to cover all the rest of the games because there's so much excitement, so much.
Exactly,
Not
with a time control,
yeah.
with a time control of 3 minutes plus 2 seconds, it's just not possible.
But we see how incredibly tricky players are, right? You see this bishop c7, and then the queen suddenly takes that bishop on a6 in the women's game, and similar things happened in the men's game. So the players currently we have.
And someone has been.
Yeah, Hampi's time is being added. Oh no, probably Ushenina's time is being added, and the game continues, and we see players.
Because Ushenina will be the one playing for the win.
And Ushenina has a very good chance to win this game too, because I don't know, Black's queen on f8 is stuck. Yeah,
exactly.
It's completely stuck.
So all she can do is move the bishop.
Move the bishop, but then what? How do we break this fortress? I have no idea.
Well, Ushenina now has 1 extra minute to work out.
So she's playing queen f5 and trying to go with bishop d3, creating that additional queen h7 threat. And she is preparing for f4, g4, g5 eventual break. And I'm curious, bishop d3. So again, black queen is stuck.
Yeah, this is the thing, with this queen on f5 and bishop, and she has to.
Queen h5, king g7
back.
White will have to play eventually f4, and that pawn on c5 is under attack, and black is no longer able to keep her bishop on e5. That's a big thing for white.
So
that's a
now
big thing.
f4 played.
F4 played, and now black is in big trouble. Because after bishop d6, white returns back with the bishop on c4, queen on f5, and the bishop on e7 is extremely passive, and white just starts to look for ways to improve her position. One of the ways is eventually to go for e4, e5 break, or g4, g5 break, and it's a matter of time before white does it. Probably she's going to wait for black to reach her last seconds before attempting all these breaks.
Yes.
And now queen d7 looks extremely unpleasant because black has no king g7.
Yes.
And the bishop on e7 is stuck. So king f8, queen d7, and black is stuck with the queen on g8. And there is no queen g7 because of queen c8 check, and
now queen d7.
Queen d7 seems to be close to winning move here.
Is there any move after queen d7?
Queen d7, queen h8 is the only move, but queen h8, oh my god. Bishop d5.
Bishop d5.
King g4, that king goes to, and black of course plays queen d8, of course.
Okay, now she's out.
And there's queen d1 check, but okay. Queen g8 back and king h5. King h5, g4. White manages to hide her king on the h5 square.
Very nicely
The question
done.
is whether it is enough.
Okay, but perhaps that's not the best idea.
Queen g4
because
check,
of
king f8, and queen d7. Queen c8 check, king g7, and white captures the h6 pawn, and she is now 2 pawns
up. Isn't
but black's f pawns, the double, they're actually very good.
Yes.
Still g5, f takes g5,
G5,
h takes g5, and white gets 2 connected passed pawns, and it's winning position. It is a winning position,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, because white creates 2 connected passers, which will win the game. g5 or
H5.
h6. The question is, she goes.
She's gone for h. I mean, could she go
She
king
should-
h6 now?
Um,
King h6 and just.
oh, she goes with just king to d5 immediately.
Okay, king to d5. Yeah.
f5 grabs this third pawn and f7.
Yeah.
Yes, and her.
Yeah. Bishop d5
And
and
Humpy
king
had
e8.
enough, and she
Yeah.
resigned.
That's it. So Humpy, yes, another bad.
Very impressive technical performance by Oceanian, though.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Very calm as well.
And that was it for the
The 20th round,
20th round.
and we're now on our final 2 games, so final match.
Only
And
2 games left.
2 games left. Wow.
After all this drama, all this excitement.
Can you
just-
believe that they've played 20 games already? It's no surprise that there are
the time
blunders
flies
galore.
so fast? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back with this final standings before the last 2 rounds.
Yes. Join us after the break. Welcome back to the last two games of the IMSA World Masters Blitz. And before we dive in and look at the games, I'd like to do a quick recap of the standings. And in the men's section, Bu Zhangji is in the lead with 14 points, which means if he secures a half a point, that's it, he is tied for first. In second place, we have Anton Korobov with 12.5 points. The same is true of the same is not true. Alexandra Kostenik is 1 point ahead. She has 14 points, and Lei Tingjie is behind her with 13 points. It's a 1 point gap, and Tang Zhongyi is third place with 12.5. So let's dive in and let's have a look. So we have Bu versus Ponomarev. So half a point. That's all he needs to secure.
He's playing white. And just exchanges the knights.
Yeah.
Queen's perfect opening for him. Yeah, but Ponomarev is a great specialist in the endgame play. And if he takes on c3, for example, here, white is faced with an unpleasant task of protecting those double pawns. I'm not sure why Bu is allowing that, but probably has a good
I'm sure he has a good
reason
idea
for that. In the second board, Korobov is trying to go for his active attacking play by placing rook d1, going for probably e takes d4 and bishop g5, knight e5 attacking setup with the isolated center. But he plays knight e4. Okay, he constantly surprises me. And in the women's section, we have Kostyuk versus Abdumalik. This is a very interesting matchup. A young star versus already established former world champion. And black is just saying here, King's Indian. And I'm thinking white could have possibly played knight d1, knight e3, and just putting that knight on f5, and it would have been very interesting to see how black would react.
Exactly.
Although in the structure with the pawn on g5, if black plays f5, white always can take on f5, put that knight on e4, which will be untouchable, and I don't think white is in any danger, and black will have to think about equality here.
And remember, Kostenik just needs one victory, and that's it. She's tied for first.
And on the second board, we have my favorite London system. And black plays very strange queen b6, a5 setup, because white can just go a4 and go and start playing even b3, because eventually, or e4 even some point, trying to break open the center in the black center. And I like white's chances, but b3 is slightly inaccurate, I think.
Yeah.
Rook c8, white has to play something like queen b2. And again, it's a very, very complex strategic game. We'll see some more action closer to the end. So let's go back to men's section. Ponomarev is a pawn up. He's a pawn up. But white has pair of bishops, which makes it about equal. So he just takes on d8, probably, because I don't think he has to give up the d file, right? So has to take on d8. He
has taken on d8.
Yeah, but a pair of bishops and a very strong king comes to c4, b5, strolling in.
And he is working his way in with the king.
Yeah, if white king gets there, then white can be even better. But I think the maximum black can hope for is a draw in this position. So the second board game is between Korobov and Yu Yangyi, and this is the game actually to watch for, because Korobov is the only one who is closest to the leader. And if he
needs to win 2-0.
If he wins this match, both games, he can potentially catch the leader. And again, Korobov is playing his trademark style. He's sacrificing something. He's got pair of bishops, very strong center development. Black is taking up the gauntlet. He's taking that pawn on e4, but he has to open his king for that. And Korobov thrives on positions like this.
He does. He took with the bishop.
He took with the bishop, and because he wants to put the bishop on g6 to protect his king.
Yes.
And now, of course, the key question is white going to play h4 or f3 or maybe something in between? And he goes for f3, hoping for knight f5 break, and black probably has to play bishop g6. And then, can you take on e6? Can knight take on e6?
Knight takes e6.
Knight e6 seems to be like such a logical choice.
Do it.
But rook takes d1, rook takes d1, f takes e6, queen takes e6. And he
he's
goes for it, and I think it is not correct. But okay, we'll see.
But it's Blitz.
Even though it's Blitz, you have to calculate, you can't just. And we're looking at the changes, and black has to take on e6, unless he just plays knight c6, in which case...
But then knight c6, then...
Knight c7, maybe.
Knight c7, and then...
And maybe bishop d6 and knight c5 then.
Okay, but he has to take.
But he has to take on e6, of course, and after queen takes e6, bishop takes e6, black has king f8, and trying to make rook d8 check with king e7.
But I have rook d8. That's my idea.
But king e7.
You're going to go king f8.
Yeah. king f8 and king f7, and
He actually didn't take it.
he
chose not to take
Korbov
it.
bluffed, and
was-
that bluff paid off. And then bishop d6 and knight c5 coming, and white is knight c7 even. Well, probably knight c5. I like knight c5 to be honest, because the knight hits both pawns. And the
And
question
he's gone
is,
knight
and he's gone knight
c5.
c5, and white has a very nice advantage of having two strong bishops, very active pieces. Bishop on g6 is way out of the game, and I think white has a large advantage. And of course, we're going back to our first board game between Bu Jiangji and Ponomaryov, and Ponomaryov wins his second pawn, and I think he has a huge chance now of winning this game and stopping the leader.
Yeah, what a turnaround. Yeah,
But
that's-
there is bishop b3 incoming. And if bishop b3 comes, then black will be completely tied up, but he's
But he can
coming
just-
up with knight c4, and he just
Yeah,
gives
knight
up that pawn, and black has,
Is it enough to? Is it enough
it just
to
goes a5, and
A5?
king d4, knight c4, of course, and white is
Yeah.
stuck with the bad bishop versus knight, and the position
and the
is
king,
winning.
the white king,
And
or
black
the black
wins,
king will
black
come on the
wins
light
this
squares.
game because his king just walks to the king side, picks all those pawns, and Ponomaryov, I think, is going to win this game, even though after
Yep.
king c5, it is slightly uneasy for black to move now. How is he going to
But
play?
he can play bishop takes. Okay, so knight moves to.
Where?
Okay, a4.
a4, bishop a2,
A4 played. Okay,
and
bishop
he has to
A2.
play a3 now.
Yeah, let's do that.
But after bishop b3, it's a Zugzwang.
He has.
But he can take, no, he cannot take on e5 because bishop d5 check first and then take on e5. So black has to play knight c e3.
Knight c3, he can go bishop.
Knight c e3 has to be played probably. Because, or knight d e3.
Knight d3.
And if king b5, then king d5.
Then king d5,
And
yeah.
then king e4. And
Yeah.
Ponomaryov has to find this. And he is a long time, but he has enough.
But he- yes,
and
he can
Korbov,
cut.
he is upon, he's 2 pawns up. But
Yeah.
he sacrificed another piece. He's just sacrificed the whole knight in order to get that bishop on d4, create that mating threat, and push his pawns. And we are watching incredible game now. Black has to play knight g8, and white has time to play a4 and
bishop
start
d4,
rolling
knight
those
g8.
pawns.
Okay, very nice positional kind of sacrifice.
Yeah,
a4.
it looks extremely dangerous for black.
Yes.
This position looks extremely dangerous. Bishop c2, okay, a5,
A5.
rook takes b5, a6. That pawn goes to a7, and white wins the exchange. And Yu Yangyi is looking very unhappy because
there's no way to stop that.
There is no way to stop the pawn, and he is losing in exchange. And Korbov is going to win this
Yeah.
game.
Okay,
They're-
let's have a look on
they
the.
down to the last seconds, and of course,
What's happened?
Ponomaryov found that knight d3, and he went king d5, and now he goes. But what to do now? Because king e4 is unplayable. White just takes on c4 because at bishop on e5, he just protects
Yeah.
that a1 square. And what a turnaround! Ponomaryov is now actually worse because he is in the Zugzwang.
Okay, sorry, hang on. Let me just get that board up because
He is
I
in
was.
the Zugzwang,
There
and
was a
he-
little bit of drama.
And
on
he goes
board
for
one,
knight
which I
g2,
was
he goes for that
distracted
2 bishops versus knight endgame. He's going to grab that pawn on h4, then go back with knight g2, grab on f4, and
Yeah.
hope for create a counterplay. But Ponomaryov, he was 2 pawns up, and then he misplayed it. Great
Completely.
defense by Bu.
Okay, let's go to
Going back to the
women's section,
Kastyniuk
because
just won the game. She is the
She
winner
is
of this
tied.
tournament.
She is tied for at least tied for first.
She is at least tied for first,
And
exactly.
because she has someone breathing down her neck, a Leighton J has also won her game.
Oh, so it is still a race
So still a race, but Kastyniuk goes into the last game
with black.
with 1 point lead, knowing that
And
Or
she's
even a
playing,
loss.
She's playing black versus Abdulmalik, who has a good chance to take the revenge.
Yeah.
While Leighton G is playing Zhao Zhu with white color. And third
also,
board we see
we also have a draw on top board with a Bu Jiangji, and that means he also has guaranteed a share of first place.
right. He just needs not to lose his last game.
Exactly. And once again, he's
And
tricky.
Korbov is lost.
What?
He somehow lost his rook. He just lost his game. Oh
So
my
that means
God.
that's it. Bu Jiangji.
Bu Jiangji is a winner of this tournament.
It is the winner of the tournament with 1 round to spare because he was the only one who could catch. Yep.
And
Raykin is on
Korbov
12.
just blundered the rook by playing king f2. Here. Look at this.
Look at this. Yes, in this position.
And he
on
just
move
blundered the
42,
whole
he
rook.
just touched the king.
Touched the king,
Bishop
and black
takes
just
A8.
took the rook in one move. Oh
That's
my God.
it.
Oh my God, that's one
And
word
that
I
happens.
can say.
That simply happens because I think it's just too chess
But,
overload.
but that game cost him 9,000 euros. That mistake might possibly cost him 9,000.
Might cost
That
him
is
silver.
a very expensive
silver,
mistake.
Yeah, because second place for the men is 13,000.
Actually 13,000, yeah.
13,000, and then
So-
it goes down to 9,000. So that means Andreikin. Then it hinges on Andreikin whether
And
Andreikin has.
Andreikin drew with Shaporinov.
Okay,
which
so
means
there's tied for 12
he's
and a
tied
half,
now for
and then
second
Richard
place.
Rapport, because now other people will start sniffing. So Richard Rapport has drawn, so he's still a huge dogfight for board for the silver medal.
And in the women's section, we have a result where Tanjuy beat Bodnaruk, while
So-
Arena Crush defeated Hampi in the fourth board.
So so Lei Jie has won. Tang Zhongyi has also, so she's on 13 and a half. So again, a big race for silver medal, and Irina is
Winning.
an outside runner for the bronze
Yeah.
medal.
But she still had a chance, yeah? Small
Still,
chance
she
it
still
is,
has a
but she
chance of the
still has
medal,
a chance.
but a nice prize
It all
money.
comes down to the final round.
It's
Not for the
how-
winners.
Not for the winners, not
Yeah.
for the winners, but for except in the case of Kostaniuk.
Yeah, but Bu is guaranteed
But
to
Bu
lead.
is guaranteed
So
first.
Bu
He is
won the event.
He is the IMSA World Masters
Blitz champion.
Blitz champion.
Yeah.
So huge congratulations to him. And he started off as bottom seed.
Yeah.
And
Underdog.
exactly.
Yeah,
and,
we're
and the
always,
Brits
rooting
and
for
the
the
Brits
underdog.
love the underdog. I
we
can't
love
help
it.
that. So any other games that are in play? I think everyone has
I think they all finished.
finished.
And we're almost ready for the final round.
And we'll take a very quick break and join us for the final game.
To find out who wins women's IMSA.
Who wins the
Masters
women's and who are the
Blitz
silver
Championship.
medalists in the Masters
Tournament.
Blitz? Yeah.
See
See
you
you.
soon.
Welcome back to our final round of the IMSA World Masters Blitz. And now it all boils down to this moment. This is the crunch time, this is the money round, this is where everything will be decided. And we have already a tournament winner in the men's section in the form of Bu Zhangji. And there is a huge fight over silver medals. Will it be Korobov? Will it be, who's the other person? Andreikin? Or Richard Rapport? We don't know. That's all up for grabs. And then in the women's section, it's up to Kostenyuk to secure a victory. Well, she must not lose. That's the thing. She's 1 point ahead, and she must not lose
and
against
even if she
women.
loses, her competitor has to win the game.
Exactly. So everything still to play for in the women's section.
Well, based on how friendly Ponomarev was, hanging out with Bu just before the game, I would say he just played the Italian game. He's looking for a solid result. I don't think Ponomarev is going very hard to try to play for a win. He will try to press if opportunity presents itself, but
we will see actually, because he's actually on the borderline where the prize money goes. Because from 10 to 16 they get 1,000 euros, and then from 10-9 it starts to go up 1,000 euros. So it's kind of in your interest to be around about.
Yes, so there's something to play for.
Exactly. So every point counts.
And of course, Korobov had an absolutely shocking blunder. He just blundered the whole rook in one move, turning his position from winning to lost, just in one move. And now he is playing black side on the Sicilian defense.
And he needs to win.
He needs to win. He looks shocked still. And
it's like, what a blunder.
I want to see how he recovers, because white is, of course, when you face in such a situation like Yu Yangyi, you were given such a gift. Play 95, but then what happened? A4, knight takes f7, ab3, knight h6, smothered mate. So knight e5 in Kostenyuk's game, and we have no moves, we have no transmission here, because if white plays 95, what black can do? Probably she has to take and play a4.
We're getting the moves.
A4, and then queen c5, and white has to trade down, because rook f7. There is a rook f7, incredible shot.
Wow. Oh wow, so we can.
And it was played on the board, I think, because black f7 pawn is gone.
What a blunder.
And black blunders, and white has two extra pawns and a winning game, and queen b5 is a perfect move.
Queen b5, yes.
Rook d8 though. If she takes on b3, then okay, attack is gone. Attack is absolutely gone. Black king is open, and she is losing the game.
Okay, well then this means.
And if Lei Tingji wins...
If Lei Tingji wins, then there is a tie for first
but she's
place.
not winning. She's lost. She is just lost.
No, yes.
The black is a pawn up, has a huge attack. White king is wide open, and the only thing working for Lei Tingji is her better time.
Okay.
But it seems that both leaders will lose this game.
Yes.
But it's only first game, right? Or the second game?
No, it's the last game.
Oh, it's the last game.
This is the money round.
Oh, the very last game.
The very, very last game.
So no more second rounds.
No more, and we have a result. And what?
And Korobov won.
No, we have a result. Lei Tingji won.
Lei Tingji won.
She won.
Oh my God, she won.
What happened there? She lost on time.
Oh, she lost on time.
Tan Zhongyi lost on time.
So that was more important.
That means there is going to be a tie.
There is going to be a tie because Kostenyuk lost as well.
Lost. So
and the Lei Tingji, and we have two Chinese players at the top.
15, yeah.
We have Bu winning
Then now, in this case of a tie, we are going to go for direct encounter. Now, what was the direct encounter?
It's me. I don't know.
Well,
okay, why don't we go check the other games, and then we can do all these things to the arbiters, because
that's true. Leave the arbitrating stuff to the
Ponomarev is suddenly winning. What happened? Bu was winning, and now Ponomarev is winning, and that will make Ponomarev.
Well, it will be very important in terms of the standings.
Yeah, knight g4, king g1, and pawn just queens, and there is nothing black can do, and Bu loses the tournament. Oh,
that's it, and Bu
he loses the game. He's still the winner of the tournament, but Ponomarev is very happy. He is moving up. He is getting to get that prize.
Yes.
And Korobov won, of course, as well.
Okay, so now Andreikin.
Cheparinov was a draw, so
That means that Korobov has had a very successful tournament. He's now second place.
He's second place,
He's
right.
second. So
And Richard Rapport won his game as well.
Okay, so this means that there is now a tie for bronze medal.
Right. So we still have a game in progress, probably. Yes, we have Dominguez trying to draw his game versus Fedoseev, who has been extremely unlucky
Haven't
after
we seen this ending before?
leading the tournament.
I think we saw an ending like this, but the king was in the difference. Okay.
And it seems to be a draw.
It
and
was
Queen
a draw.
B2 check
Yes.
and King C6, but
But
they will play out because the money is at stake.
Exactly.
It's €1,000 game.
It is. It is 1,000. So I mean, Lenier is on. 11.
And black one because
11th
Lenier
place.
just exchanged the queens. Yeah. I think he had enough.
So
He just
for
allowed the
safe
exchange.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was our final. And Wang Hao won. He defeated
And
Gawain
this
Jones.
is, ladies and gentlemen, this was the last round, the very last round of this whole tournament. It was an exciting tournament, and it was such a pleasure to have you in this tournament.
It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate alongside you, Gata.
Yeah,
You've
so much
been
fun.
giving all the viewers and myself a lot of lessons
I'm getting
on
so
how
excited,
to think.
getting
Yes.
so fast. I'm sorry, I apologize for my speed, but I feel like I'm trying to catch all the little things, and of course it's impossible.
Yes.
I still try.
We also have to
Yeah.
give a big thank you to our technical team
Technical
who have
team,
done a fantastic job in
this
following
tournament.
us.
This is the first time they're doing this tournament, so obviously there are some technical glitches here and there. But overall, these guys they have to manually follow our lead.
Our lead, yes. And whatever game we go, they suddenly
They had to switch
They
manually
have to
their
switch.
television sets and their cameras, and incredible speed is incredible. So big thank you to our technical team.
yes.
And to everybody, to the organizers for a well-organized tournament, exciting chess.
Yes,
And-
we should, before we go, we should find out what's happening with the tie between.
But I think our readers will find out from the arbiters. There's a closing ceremony.
Yes, because the only thing is that if everything is tied, there is a Armageddon match. And,
Yes, we were promised an Armageddon match.
We were promised,
a tiebreaker.
but if everything is tied, so
Only.
according to the regulations that I read, it's according to direct encounter, which I cannot remember. I think Kostenyuk won. I'm not sure. And if that was tied, then it's Buchholz, and if that is still a tie,
Then we have
then it's
tiebreak.
a performance rating.
Oh,
And
so
if that is still I think
there is no way they're
this
going to be
is-
all tied. There's
and
no way.
there's absolutely no way.
No,
So
right. So we're going to leave it to a little cliffhanger here, and the readers will have to find out for themselves or from the closing ceremony, which
Yes.
will be this
but
night later.
Yeah, so huge congratulations to our winners, and a big thank you to our audience at home, and a big thank you to Gata and technical
Big thank
team.
you to
team.
Jovanka.
It's been a pleasure, and until the next.
Hopefully next year we'll see this tournament. And
Yes.
goodbye.
Goodbye.